to go, full time of the year. Tomorrow I know we're interrupted by the Bruins game. So, full show tonight and Wednesday. Let's load them up. 617-779-0985. Skaz is here. We got Street Team Joe tonight, too. Number 10, Team USA. Is that Jason Tatum? I think it might be. Yeah, that's right. It might be. He is rocking the shirt. Of course, you can watch the show on YouTube and hang out in our chat. Just go to youtube.com/985 The Sports Hub. I worked post-game yesterday. And the most upsetting thing for me about the Patriots' loss to the Cardinals was how the team responded after a bye week. They received the ball first. They had conservative play calling. There was a hold on a big play. They settled for a field goal instead of being aggressive while receiving the ball. And then they missed a field goal. Then you look up, it's 10-0 early in the game. Instead of progressing the offense after the Colts game, they regressed. They were averaging just 3.7 yards per play at halftime. They had 167 yards of offense through the first three quarters. Of course, the game got out of hand, a couple of garbage time touchdown drives. But it was just, at one point, they had more negative offensive plays than offensive first downs in the game. Down 16-3. They might be making it a one-score game. Big runs by Ramondre Stevenson. Gibson, 29-yard run. They get to the 13-yard line. Momentum fell apart again. Patriots couldn't get lined up in time for the next play and had to burn a timeout to avoid a delay of game. Then not only did they lose the momentum and gave the Cardinals a chance to at least create something and game plan for it, it's just the way that they just costed another second half timeout. Coming out of that timeout, incomplete pass, and then a 9-yard run to set up a 3rd and 1. The Patriots had 2 plays to gain 1 yard. 2 plays, 1 yard. Remember, the Patriots this year were going to be a running football team. They ran it once with Gibson, the other with Stevenson up the middle. Might have been a bad spot on the first one, which I'll get on Mayo about, but did not clear the first down. And why are they taking the ball out of Drake May's hands? I understand they're worried about the kid's health. I understand he had a concussion earlier this year. Maybe it's just a rule that inside the red zone they're not going to do designed runs. And if that's the plan, I might have to accept it, but I don't want to. There's been too many times the Patriots have taken the ball out of Drake May's hands. And it's just, at this point, they failed him once again. The Patriots were 0 for 6 on 3rd down. It's the 3rd time since 1991 that they failed to convert at least 1 3rd down on 6 tries. Drake May completed 10, all 10 of his passes in the first half that he attempted. But none of them more than 5 yards downfield. Multiple screen plays. They did try to go deep with a Kayshon Boutte throw. Incomplete. May never threw deep again until the Patriots were down 23-3. Why so conservative? By the way, the Cardinals suck defensively. They lost 2 linebackers. They should have been throwing the ball, pushing it downfield. With nothing to lose, they're a 3-win team. Don't you want to build a winning culture? Why so conservative? And for the defense, I will say this about the defense. When the offense does have 3 and outs or really can't do much and you go back out in the field, it's hard to get back out there, but I'm not blaming them because it's the offense, because it's been happening all year. They allowed 395 yards of offense to the Cardinals. They got crushed on 3rd down, 10 for 15. That's 67%, Joe Math. Arizona also went 3 for 4 in the red zone. They controlled the entire tempo of the game. 163 yards on 32 carries. They rushed for 5 yards a carry. There was conflicting reports this week about the Patriots looking around for the next head coach. Maybe they're not settled on Gerard Mayo. Another report comes out from Deanna Rossini over the weekend saying that he has been assured the job. This was not the greatest look from the coaching staff and Gerard Mayo after the bye week. And things got even worse after the game. We'll give you some of those quotes coming up in just a little bit. But I want to just put into perspective the Patriots over their last 38 games. They're 9-29 overall. They're 9-29. They're continuing to get worse. Where have they got better? They had a bye week to figure this thing out, and that's how they came out. And really, it's everything that happened after the game. It's the same old, broken record, want to be the better team. Oh, well, if it wasn't for this big run, this is what it looked like. It's the same old thing for the Patriots. And I think they're going to lose the rest of their games. I told you they'd have the least amount of wins in the NFL. Right now, they have 3. Raiders play tonight. They have 2 wins. And the Giants have 2 wins. I think it's still in play. I have the under 5.5 wins. I think it's still in play. This, to me, is a worse team than we saw a year ago. The quarterback play last year was horrendous. I think this team is worse. I think this year's team is worse than last year. We've had the discussions. We've gone back and forth about it. Convinced this team's worse. And after yesterday, with the owners watching the game and what Gerard Mayo said in postgame, how do you not start looking at some other candidates? We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. We'll get Skaz's opinion as well. He's here tonight looking suave with a brand new haircut over there. But the Patriots, again, lose to the Cardinals in just a terrible team, the Cardinals. That was brutal. Absolutely awful to watch. We'll take a quick break here. I'm Joe Murray. We're here until 10 o'clock tonight, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on.
right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Full show tonight. 617-779-0985. You said it, I didn't. Oh, I've used that on this show a bunch, Skaz, with you. You'll, make some sort of, sneaky remark, and I'll be like, you said it, I did. I was doing post-game yesterday, and after the game, I was like, all right, Leroy, we're not going to talk about coaching. We're not going to talk about coaching. We're not going to talk about the bad coaching because it's all we do. All we do after every single post-game is the coach missed this, the coach missed that. I know the talent isn't great. I know it. I know. But the group and the personnel that goes out on the football field this season, the 14 games that they've played, they should have more than 3 wins. They should. I don't think the roster's great, but it kind of shows the rest of the league still stinks. You've been in games. Yesterday you weren't in that game, but that team stunk, and that's a winnable game, and they lost it. The Cardinals, you should have no fear in that team. They ran it up, garbage points late in the game. I will say this about them, though. They had something to play for, right? I mean, the Rams are now winning that division, but they had something to play for. But you said it, I didn't. I've never heard it before. It's completely throwing the offensive coordinator under the bus. We saw a lot of that yesterday.
You said it, I didn't.
Oh, you said it, I didn't. Oh, so you wanted him to run the ball. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Mayo? Was that what you're saying? Just a follow up there, Gerard, coach. Is it your decision for that, Gerard? Because again, I know that someone said it, you didn't. But is that how you feel? We saw a hierarchy on display yesterday during the game. And again, I don't care what happened on the football field. They sucked. They weren't ready to play. They weren't ready after a bye week. They didn't care. There was zero urgency. Zero. And the play calls were absolutely atrocious. The offensive line, a big play and a holding. I mean, it was the same old, same old. Nothing changed after the bye week. Nothing. And I was encouraged after the Colts game. I was. But, man, we saw a hierarchy of issues with this team. Starting with Robert and Jonathan Kraft in the booth. And I'm not a lip reader, but I'm pretty sure he said that this offense is terrible or the play calling is terrible. Just go with it. I'm sure that's what he said with his little notepad. Then you get Mayo essentially calling out the offensive coordinator for not using Drake May around the goal line or not using Drake May on the 3rd and 4th down plays. So then they asked Drake May about it. What does Drake May have to say about it?
Yeah, that's a good point. It was a good quarterback sneaker in college. A big dude. Heavier than people think. So I think there's mostly maybe a conversation for that. And I think it's tough, to stop 6'5" dude, for 1 yard. So, but also at the same time, Mondre's pretty dang good at getting 1 yard as well. So it's unfortunate that it happened. But definitely there's time and place for it.
So 6'5", good sneaker in college. He's done it before. That's a good point. It's a good point. The owner lip-synced it. The coach absolutely threw Van Pelt under the bus. And then Drake May doubled down on 11. Oh, yeah. 6'5", big guy, done it before. Oh, yeah, I want to do it. And then we talk about veteran leadership or just leadership in general on the team, right? If there's one position group that doesn't have it, it's wide receiver. Like Jalen Polk has said whatever he's wanted this year. Javon Baker's still not out on the football field. Don't know how that happens. And I just look at a guy like Kayshon Boutte, who has called out the offense twice this year, twice, about not being aggressive. He talked about how they started out and, man, it was disrespectful, and how the team should have looked downfield, and they never did before it was too late. This is Kayshon Boutte calling out the offensive coordinator. While Gerard Mayo noted after the game, we give up a big run play that didn't hurt us and really skews the rest of the stats, it's him essentially saying, without the 53-yard run, the defense wasn't that bad. How many times have we heard that now? I should also remind you, the Patriots' leading receiver at halftime was Marcus Jones. He plays defense. But this is what I wanted to get to. This thing's been air frying since yesterday. I already pulled it out of the oven for a little bit, the air fryer. I let Skaz have a sniff. I let him hear the crackle of this one being cooked. That view of Jonathan Kraft being upset, it's got me thinking. I've never liked the involvement of Jonathan Kraft for the Patriots. I always thought it was horrendous. I always thought that if Jonathan's involved, they're screwed. I've always felt that way. I'm feeling different right now. I've been very negative about Jonathan being involved. But he might be the guy to make the changes that they need. In a way, he might even be the anti-hero of the New England Patriots. Could Jonathan Kraft hate what we're seeing here and get to the old man? I've always thought negative of the guy. Always. Am I crazy, James Scaramazino? Am I crazy to think watching Jonathan Kraft in that booth yesterday being pissed, could it ignite the change that the Patriots need? Could Jonathan Kraft actually be the anti-hero for the New England Patriots? Skaz, your thoughts? I had hope. I had hope watching Jonathan upset. I had hope.
Why? Why did you have hope watching that, Joe?
I don't want to hear the report from Deanna Rossini that says Mayo's back next year. I hate it. I despise it. He could lose 7 straight and be back next year. And this is why I think the breadcrumbs are set for Van Pelt to be the fall guy. When his defense, by the way, I got numbers on the defense, not good. Skaz, where I'm going with it is I've always never liked Jonathan Kraft involved. Him being pissed yesterday, seeing that emotion. Maybe he's the one that's involved with potentially finding a new coach. Maybe he's the one leaking things out there. I don't know. I'm reaching hard. My back hurts from reaching. My arms hurt from reaching with this take. But when I saw it, I got excited. Maybe it was a plant. Maybe it was a plant and I'm getting duped. But I liked it and it gave me hope. Because whenever I think of this man, I think of him ruining the team. Could he be the anti-hero?
Joe, you know what they say, hope is a dangerous thing.
Oh, yes.
You're looking for any reason to be hopeful right now. I think Jonathan Kraft, he at least yesterday, I will say this, seemed very aware of what was going on the field and the public perception. I would say that the Krafts in general are very media conscious, almost too much so at times. They know the cameras are on them when they're in the booth. They know that when something bad happens, I would say in the past have done a very good job of not reacting, one way or the other, good or bad. They celebrate when touchdowns happen and stuff like that, but I think in the past they've kind of, I don't want to say gloss over bad things, but they're very aware of when those cameras are going to cut to them.
Oh, I know. It could have been a plant. It could have been.
Well, I don't want to say it's a plant, Joe. I would say that it was very poignant. It seemed as if it was frustration was boiling over for Jonathan Kraft. You want to take that as a good sign? So be it, Joe. There's not a lot of good signs going around New England right now.
I got nothing. Like, if my take sucks, 617-779-0985. If it sucks, tell me. Because you know what? I do feel like the Crafts deserve all of this. I do. And I've already said this last week, and I don't even remember the last time I worked with you, I feel like, because I've been bouncing around. But last week, I said that Tom Brady left one with another team. Belichick's now out of the league, but doing something new in college. Whether you like it or not, he's doing it. When you think of Brady, Belichick, and Kraft, look what Brady's already won. He's trying to do Fox. He got a boatload. He stinks, but you know what? He's got his money. Belichick got his back now, right? Where are the Krafts at? Where are the Krafts at? Robert Kraft let go of both Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and got zero in return. Now he has a suck franchise that nobody wants to coach at anymore.
So now Jonathan Kraft is your hope because you have no one else, Joe.
Yes. Yes, Gaz. He's the anti-hero. He's the one that we go, ha, you suck. You made it this way. To the point now where it's, can he get to the old man? Can he get to the old man? They're not going to win with this guy. It's not Mayo's fault. It's Kraft's fault. Have a hiring process. Listen to different minds. Find out what the new trends are in football. Could you find multiple people to work with Drake May? I got something on May coming up in a little bit. But that was what I saw yesterday. An angered man who looked like he cared. I haven't felt like the Krafts felt that way. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I am. But it's the only thing I have left with this team. If they bring back Gerard Mayo, yeah, try bringing in coaches to this staff to improve. Yeah, try getting fans to re-sign for their season tickets. Yeah. Oh, God, I don't want to work post-game next year.
Joe, would you rather them keep Gerard Mayo or DeMarcus Covington?
Gerard Mayo. I mean, that's a Sophie's choice right there. That was a horrible question to ask. But I got numbers.
Well, you're talking about AVP being the fall guy. The real fall guy should be Covington.
Why is it not him?
No idea.
Why is it not him?
Because then they'd have to admit that Gerard Mayo can't even sustain a good defense, and he's supposed to be a defensive guy. So for them to fully admit their mistake, Covington and Mayo.
And Wolf.
Well, yeah,
Get them all out of here.
Send them all out.
Oh, I can't believe I've been thinking about this Jonathan Kraft thing since last night. When I saw it on TV, like something, like it was like I had like the Christmas spirit came over or something, my body. The Patriots spirit. The guy that I thought was the problem might be the guy who can resolve this thing. I'm nuts. All right, let's hear from you guys at 617-779-0985. We got a quick look at the headlines here. And, is Gerard Mayo on the hot seat? We'll have more coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Patriots coming off a loss, so they get right back to it this week. When they take on the Buffalo Bills, they're only 14-point underdogs, but you know what? I saw Jonathan mumble some words that I'm sure said terrible play calling. And then it's the old Gerard Mayo press conference. You said it, I didn't. And then Drake May saying, well, I like to sneak. I'm a big guy, 6'5", Just, And then the booty thing, whatever, I just feel like there's no leadership in that room. But when he says, yeah, it's disrespectful, and I'll throw the ball downfield to me when, they're in man, what are we doing here? Calls out the offensive coordinator. But I had a tingle, a Patriots tingle. Every once in a while, I get a Patriots tingle. I think the Apple documentary, showed some things that some people call Patriot porn. I had a little tingle watching Jonathan being upset yesterday. And I got a couple of people already tweeting at me, why do you hate Jonathan so much? I don't. I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy, but I do feel like he's meddled. I mean, Seth Wickersham has basically said that Jonathan was one of the biggest proponents of moving on from Bill Belichick. And it was Kraft it was Robert Kraft that kept him another year. So Jonathan's been trying to move the needle for a while here, and as much as we all look into it, why is he meddling? I don't know. Maybe he's the voice of reason. I don't know what else to do anymore. I don't know what else to say. My take might suck, but you know what? It might be what saves the Patriots from Gerard Mayo coming back for another year. This team needs to clean house. There's too much invested in Drake May. They just think about this one more time, everybody. Whether they want Drake May running or not, okay? That's a different dispute. That's a different argument. When you want to win games and set a culture on that third or fourth down play, the coach wanted to run the ball. The owner probably wanted to run the ball. And Drake May wanted to run the ball there. At some point, you need to keep the ball in the hands of your best player. And the Patriots somehow offensively don't concept that. They're protecting the kid too much. They have him on training wheels. If it's to protect him because the team stinks, fine. But you know what? It seems like Gerard Mayo wants to do one thing. Drake May wants to do the same thing. But the offensive coordinator is doing another thing. And it goes back to power. Nobody will respect you if you have no power. And it looks like to me, Gerard Mayo has zero power when it comes to running the offense. And guess what? It looks like Drake May doesn't either. That's why they should move on from this whole entire operation. They wanted it to work out. They wanted everyone to collaboratively work. Well, through 15 weeks, it sucks. No one's collaborating anymore. Everyone has their own agendas. Mayo has said it himself. Oh, I had some things I wanted to do early on, but, he couldn't because you had no power. Frustrating. 617-779-0985. That's the phone number if you want to jump aboard. I did want to just mention that Gerard Mayo seemed to accuse Alex Van Pelt of passive play calling in the loss yesterday. And last week, Alex Van Pelt had some quotes in the media that said, I work for coach. And if coach says to run the ball, I run the ball. If he says be aggressive, I'm aggressive. Now we have source war. Now we have you said it, I didn't. Where before all this happened, literally before the game, last week, Alex Van Pelt said he works for coach. And if coach says to run the ball, I run the ball. If he says be aggressive, I'm aggressive. So who's blaming who here? They're both blaming each other. It's not working anymore. It's not working. And I hope Jonathan can get in the ear of Robert. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Let's start with Doug. He's in the car. What's up, Doug?
Me?
Hi, Doug. Yeah, you're on the air. What's up?
No, Doug Oak Square, not in the car. No big deal.
Oh, Oak Square, huh? Last drop?
So this is the deal. I've been listening to multiple people all over talk radio yourself again tonight, stating how this year is worse than last year. And I'm sorry, just not true.
I can put you. I can give you. I can tell you you're wrong. If you do, you want statistics? Hang on.
Go ahead.
Do you want statistics or do you want the argument?
No. I'm not talking about statistically. I'm talking about watching the product on the field. It is far better operation than the last couple of years.
You think the defense is better?
No, I'm not saying the defense. Actually, I'm focusing more on the offensive side of the ball. Frankly, like we look better with Jacoby Brissett than we did at any time last year with either Zappy or Mac Jones. We just look like a better operation. I'm not saying we're anywhere. The Patriots, I shouldn't say we. I'm not on the team.
Okay. Well,
I'm not saying the Patriots are anywhere near where they should be. All right. They definitely have a lot of issues and need to fix them.
Can I give you the numbers? Last year.
No.
I just want to give them to you to make your argument.
I'm not comparing statistically.
No, I know, but let me
the way it looks on the field.
Let me give you the facts, though. In 2023, the Patriots, through 14 games, threw for 3,994 yards and had 186 points. This year, they have 4,094 yards for 238 points.
Yep.
So 186 to 238, that's an improvement.
No, what I'm saying, it looks better. It's a better product, and I think part of what's happening here, a lot of people are bitching about Alex Van Pelt. I think Alex Van Pelt is basically looking at this offense and the players on the field, and there's only so much you could do. And you can't ramp things up with players that can't handle it.
Yeah, Doug, that's my point.
They clearly made a mistake with the left tackle situation.
Yeah, but the point is you're right. The offense is better. Why isn't the defense taking any heat publicly? Like, we all say it, but what is it?
Yeah, no, I can't say you're wrong there. I think they're starting to take heat publicly. I definitely agree with you there, especially with Gerard Mayo being, a defensive guy. We're all assuming that he's just going to be able to take over, coaching, et cetera. But a lot of people, they need to realize that playing and coaching are two different things. And, sometimes you do have to learn on the job a little bit, et cetera.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate you. Just to pay off that defensive number, the Patriots defense last year, and I'm looking at through 14 games last year, they gave up 4,300 yards and 299 points. Through 14 games this year, they've given up 4,800 yards and 339 points. So they have given up 40 more points and 500 more yards defensively than they did a year ago at this time. So when I tell you that I thought last year was better than this year, that's my feeling. The caller wants to tell you that it looks better. It's worse. It is worse. Let's talk to John in the car. Hey, John.
Hello, is this me?
You're on the air, John. How are you?
All right. So this morning, the coach said when the defense wasn't performing after the first couple games, he threw out Bentley being injured. So,
Yep.
Joe, don't be so hard on the coach. Maybe we should run it back like we did last year, minus Belichick. Run it back. Bring it back. Be the worst team in the league. Third worst isn't good enough. I'll hang up and let you go. Thank you.
Thank you. John doesn't seem happy with the Patriots. Wants them to run it back and suck some more. I can't do it. I just watched the Bears do it, Eberflus.
You want to do post game again next year with the same coaching staff, Joe?
You know what, dude? And I hate to make this selfish, be selfish about this. But Skaz, you tried. I know you could do it, but it's very simple to do post game. You read the in and outs during the break. You go to the press conference. Gerard Mayo says, I hate to sound like a broken record. It falls on me.
He says something that he's going to walk back the next morning every time.
He'll step right in poop.
It's a Walk It Back Monday, Joe.
Walk it
We-
back.
we were doing
Walk it back.
Atlanta
Walk
Sports
it back.
Radio. It's a Walk It Back Monday,
Walk
guys.
It back. Walk it back. Is that a song, or am I just making that up?
Walk It Out.
Oh,
I
I'm
think is
thinking
what
of
you're
Walk It
thinking of.
Out. Oh, Walk It Out. Now Walk It Out. Maybe we can make a song out for that one. Yeah, no, it's the same thing, right? And then, okay, let's hear from Drake May. And Drake's like, golly shucks, man, damn, coach called plays, but I just, I threw the ball. It's the same thing every week. And then it's me yelling about how these guys suck and to change this guy and that guy. I haven't even called anyone suspect this year because they all suck. Right? Like, no one's suspect. They all suck. Walk it back. Gary's in Marblehead. Hey, Gary.
Joe, how we doing tonight?
Good, buddy.
So I got to take a workshop with you here. I think Kraft's kind of at a crossroads right now. The first side is, he really wants that Hall of Fame legacy to go on. The other side is he needs to uphold the reputation of the Patriots. And I think we all know he really wants that Hall of Fame bid. So I think he's kind of stuck here. If he wants that Hall of Fame bid, he's got to get rid of Mayo. He doesn't have much time left to prove that his legacy is great after the Belichick era. But if he fires Mayo, is any new coach going to want to come and join this party?
Don't care. I've heard that. It's so funny, and please don't think I'm being disrespectful to you. I've heard this before, where, like, you're a bad team now. Bad teams fire coaches after 1 year. Like, I want them to find the next guy where they don't have to worry about people who want to come here anymore. Right? Like, you hire the next guy, and then they let that guy hire all of his guys, and you let that thing go for 4 or 5 years. Like, that's why I don't worry about what you just said, because if you get the right guy, you don't have to worry about that.
But how they're not going to? The chances of them getting the right guy are slim.
Gary, I think
it's just a.
let me throw another scenario at you, okay? Guy, you're workshopping, so let me help a little bit more. I call it air frying, workshop, whatever. Who wants to come here if Gerard Mayo's back, knowing he's on the hot seat?
Nobody.
So what's more likely or better for the Patriots?
They got a clean house.
Exactly.
Right, but how are you going to get a guy that you believe in if nobody worth their salt wants to come?
You pay him heavily and handsomely.
I don't know, man. I think it's risky, but whatever. We'll see.
No, but I mean, have they spent it on anybody?
Well, clearly not.
Well, they did for Belichick.
How do we know that?
Well, he made $25 million a year.
I don't know. Towards the end, were they? Because clearly
They're paying him right now to not even coach, bro. They fired him and had to pay him.
Right, but with the Crafts being cheap, as we sort of think, wouldn't that just say that they're going to have a lower budget anyways?
That's my take on Jonathan taking over or getting involved. They need someone who can run the program. I wish I could give you the names. Oh, Skaz, you know whose name just keeps getting brought up when it comes to potential next coach, which I would not. Is it better than Gerard Mayo? Yes. But the name Mike Vrabel, if you've heard, we got to write that article, Skaz. It's like me with my, hey, Joe, what's your Kowloon order? Here it is, everybody. Oh, I hate the idea of Mike Vrabel, but it's better than what we have. What the Patriots have, excuse me. Billy's in Rentham. Hi, Billy.
Hey, I love the show. You guys do a great job. I just wanted to call in and mention AVP. I think he needs to be the guy to be fired before Mayo if someone were to get fired. I just can't see him run the offense anymore. I'd love to see Covington out too, but who do you guys think should be fired first, AVP or Mayo?
It should be Covington first. It's going to be Van Pelt as well. Then I think it would be Wolf and then Mayo. Jake is in Andover. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Joe. Long time, buddy.
Thanks,
oh, God, a couple string of calls a little rough to listen to. But this is a brown check mark. I guess you can qualify that. The reason why Mayo is pissing me off, right? So what was the thing we heard all season? He's the CEO. He's this business guru. So I'll ask you a first question. Do you know what Optum is?
Yeah, like the company that he worked for or whatever.
Yeah. So they just sell medical goods to large-scale businesses.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of somebody that walked onto a job and became an SVP of an entire department of customer service with no experience? Does that ever happen to you?
Nope, not in my world.
Unless you know somebody at a business that knows a job that doesn't really take a lot of skill to just kiss ass and, talk about stuff. You know those guys in corporate America that you don't know how they really got the job, that you don't really know what they do. They just talk really highly, and it's the CYA approach of,
I know what you're talking about.
My sales team doesn't suck. It's the economy. My sales team doesn't suck. It's the clients. It's it's kind of funny how it's crossing over to the exact same approach when you have a CEO millionaire who's also the same guy of whoever runs off.
I agree with
that you can just kiss ass, know guys, and what do corporate guys do? I know because I'm a corporate guy.
Yep.
Oh, there's a position with another guy. Oh, I'm just gonna take this little knife and stab him in the back, and as soon as he's out of that position, I already know the boss.
It's funny how this has been relatable to you because I've been thinking the same thing. And I worked in corporate America too. And it did. You know the deal. People do sabotage other people for their jobs to get the raise and all that. It happens. That's you're absolutely right, bro.
1,000%. It's really easy because it's all, you can even verify it via Google too. SVP of Business Customer Service. What does that even mean? He's an executive. No. You can be an executive of the janitorial department. I can call you an executive of that. That doesn't mean you're a leader of men. You're a guy that knows how to talk like a politician at the podium. And it's a politician. No new taxes. And then when the taxes come out, what'd you guys expect? It's literally, we just had the election. We're watching the election, but on a football basis.
Thanks, Jack. I appreciate you, buddy. It is funny. I do relate to what he just said. I'm full time here in radio, but I worked in a corporate America. I've been there. I know people that it is very the blaming and why are the numbers low and why is things bad. It's all true, and I think it's the only experience that Mayo has besides being a player. We'll have more of your calls. I see you guys line up on hold, 617-779-0985. There was other stuff that happened over the weekend. Bill Belichick was in the news as well, being very desperate. And also, Drake May's performance. What's his morale like? We will talk to Alex Barth at 7:20 tonight. I got a ton of other things in or out, musings, you name it. Skaz is here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub. not officially announced. Patrick Mahomes has a high ankle sprain, but should be back for the Chiefs, who did win yesterday. The Jets, they've interviewed Thomas Dimitroff. They will interview former Titans general manager as well, John Robinson. And Monday Night Football, doubleheader, Vikings host the Bears, Raiders, and Falcons. Headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. Injured and can't work? Turn to Catches Law, the official law firm of the New England Patriots. Tackle your needs with local attorneys who live and serve here in New England. Let Keshes fight for you. Go to KetchesLaw.com to book your free consultation. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update, 30 minutes.
Let's talk turkey, shall we?
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, in the sports industry, that's what you say.
Got your talking head right here, buddy.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, back there, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Patriots lose to the Cardinals. Their game got flexed this week. I despise that. You know what time we got out last night, Steph? 10:15. Got home around 11. Had to wind down a little bit. I think I tried to watch a little bit of, Sports Sunday with Mike Felger. And the second I watch that thing, it's Bert Breer talking about, I think today was the day that Gerard Mayo stepped in it.
Might be hearing from Mike Felger later on tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mike Felger cul-de-sac today for 4 hours. I don't know if you heard any of it.
Hey, Skaz, you did it. I didn't.
Talk about sitting on the fence. Guy was putting on a show today.
This is a Scaramuzzino production. I mean, I listened to it.
Wasn't even facilitation. It was just complete deference. I don't even know.
Really, all you did was go to our software.
I didn't manipulate. There was no manipulation of audio.
You just downloaded and entered it into the system.
Guy was playing both sides of the fence like you wouldn't believe, though.
Do you think I'm playing both sides of the fence when I say I have hated Jonathan Kraft, but now I feel like he could be the one to help save the team?
No, Joe, I think you're desperate, is what I think. I think you sound like a desperate man who wants his football team to be good again.
Well, I mean, I did sell cars in the past.
You know something about a sale.
I know what it means to have a sale, and you got to fight for that sale, right? I'm not interested in today. Well, listen, what do you like? Light or dark colors? You leather? Are you moonroof guy? What do you Hey, let me show you this one. Come over here. Hey, come over here. I am selling hard that maybe Jonathan Kraft could be the savior. Come on, you didn't see that yesterday and be like, and don't get me wrong. Did I laugh and make the joke about, wow, this guy's taking notes? I did. I took notes yesterday. I sit here and take notes. That's what I do. Is that what he's doing in the press box? Hey, old man, look at this. Hey, old man. You're right. I am desperate. But that's what the Patriots are. They're desperate to find someone that will work for the pay that they want to pay people. Find someone that will find the talent. That's where the Crafts are. Around the league, people think they are cheap. Also, the players think they were only good because of who? Tom Brady. They need to change that culture. Bringing Gerard Mayo back does none of that. Let's hear from you guys at 617-779-0985. Paul is in Norwood. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Joe, I listen to you all the time.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
First time I called.
Thanks,
I got an idea to end all this fiasco, and I'll make your night. I think Robert Kraft should get on the red phone, right? Get Bill out of college and get him as the coach. Tom Brady is the OC. Danielson is the quarterback coach, and Scar is the defensive coach. And
why would Brady ever lower himself to that?
He wants Dante Scarnecchia as the defensive coach.
You know what, though? Covington or Scar? Come on. You mean to tell me Scar wouldn't have those guys in 4-point stances, cutting them out at the leg so they couldn't run?
I can't imagine the Patriots are going to match Brady's Fox contract to be the offensive coordinator. Call me crazy, but I'm not quite sure they're going to go to that number.
Don't think that they can reach that potential. He listened. You know what, though? First time listening, calling. Thank you. Well, you missed it. We had a Norwood contingency the other. Were you here for this? Yeah.
I don't believe so.
You with John Sir? No, you weren't here.
No.
I can't remember when you were here anymore. And I didn't work with you on Thursday, so I don't even know the last time. But yeah, we had a lot of people telling us about restaurants in Norwood to go to. Little Tony seemed to be the big one. I've never been there. I heard it's meh. But I don't want to disrespect Little Tony like that. Maybe Little Tony should send us a sample. Benny in Oxford. Hi, Benny.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? What's up, Skaz?
Skaz got a haircut.
I called post game yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Benny, you called in yesterday with good takes. It was good stuff.
Oh, Steve,
change of heart
I try my best. No, not a change. Change of heart. Like, the team is awful, man. And I wanted to talk about Drake May because you're watching the game, the last two. I know we talked about his last two touchdown drives. I know garbage time. But did you see how he just ran off the field after that last touchdown? Ran to the end zone, threw the ball to the ref, which is like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, Leroy pointed this one out yesterday, and it's funny because this is what I was going to lead this segment off of, but I think Drake May, for the first time this year, his morale is as low as it's ever been.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I think I would love to have seen his reaction after he heard Booty's comments, because this guy, Drake May, goes to the post-game conference every single time, and not once is he pulling a Mayo. Not throwing anyone under the bus. But
yesterday he was like, yeah, I don't know why they didn't call a run for me. I'm pretty good at sneaking.
Yeah, that was the only, that's more the, I guess.
I look at it more. I look at it as more morale, Benny. I don't think personally. I don't think he threw to help my argument. He threw Van Pelt under the bus, right? But to realistically say it, I think he said it because his morale is so low.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Like he's on a crap team, and it's kind of like they handcuff him a little bit.
No, they do, and I think I mentioned that yesterday. Like it's like either you're going to let Drake May develop, or you're not going to let him develop. Like don't half-ass it. I'd rather see him make mistakes somewhere and learn from it, because he's proven that he's going to learn from his mistakes, as opposed to you continue handcuffing him and treating him like a 10-year-old when he's probably the oldest acting guy on the damn team, most mature person on the team. Like, let him learn, and let him develop the proper way. Don't handcuff this guy anymore, especially with 3 weeks left to go. What are we worried about?
You know, I think around the goal line on a fourth down situation, it might be good for him to learn how to sneak to get one, just to know what it's all about, what angle to go, what snap maybe to take. Should he go left? Should he go right? Is it a him over the top situation? I feel like that was a game situation that they didn't give him the opportunity for.
Yeah, something for him to be able to fall back on, look back on.
Or go away from.
Here, look how,
or just say, we're not doing that anymore.
Exactly. It's something to learn from. And you mentioned really quick, if I can, before I got to go, the wide receiver room. Why hasn't that been shut down? Like, what the hell is going on there?
And it sounds like the only one who's I don't even know if Booty's comments are leadership-wise, but he's not wrong.
Like,
I don't want a second-year, sixth-round player who should have been out of the league because of what he did as the guy that's the vocal leader at wide receiver.
Yeah, probably not the best person.
It's not,
to do that.
But you know what? I commend him for it because no one else is.
Yeah, somebody's got to step up to it, right?
And I think Booty knows one-on-one coverage, May can find him.
Yeah, and to your point, let him throw the ball downfield, please. Like this 3-yard outs, are just ridiculous.
5 yards per carry in the first half. Can you believe that?
Such a joke. Gibson
per completion. I know. All right, Benny. Appreciate you. Oh, Benny, I got a good Celtics take later on. Stay tuned for that.
All right, I'll be listening.
All right, man. He's Benny. He's in Oxford. Let's knock out a couple more of these. We got Deshaun. How you doing, Deshaun in Virginia?
How you doing, man?
Good, buddy.
I want to touch on a few things. I mean, when it comes to the team, whatever, everybody want to continue complaining about the coaching and they can think about the coaching, whatever. But the talent is so bad and so atrocious that I don't care who you got in the door, they won't be able to do well with this team. I mean, Darren Lowe is not a kind of a caliber tackle. Duggar can't covering pass coverage or whatever. You got so many weaknesses within the team. So do you find it kind of, funny that, okay, when Alex Van Pelt was with the Cleveland Browns and he was doing pretty well because he actually had the assets to coach, and now when he comes here, is a shit show? I mean, when they were doing the hiring process, when the coaches and stuff were coming in, do you find out ironic reason why a lot of them didn't want to take this job? Because they're looking at it before Drake May started doing what he was doing, there was a lot of questions. I was like, what am I working with? Where you giving me to work with? This is not an intriguing spot for anybody to come here and work with anything here. And also when it comes to the defense, people are talking about, the defense was better this, that, and the third. But they feasted off bad quarterbacks and inexperienced quarterbacks years past. And if you want to get better, you don't want to run right back with this same group.
I'll say this. Why didn't they want to take any of the jobs? Maybe they don't want to deal with the ownership.
That could be the case, too.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Deshaun. Thank you, sir. One last one, then we got Alex Barth coming up next. We have, is this man in Upton or is his name Upton?
No, I'm Drew from Upton, Joe.
Drew
nice
from
to
Upton.
talk to you. I know
you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm great.
I know you're up against it, so I'll be quick. I just think it's a repeat of the last 2-3 years. We had a Mac contingent. We had a Bill contingent. Now we have a Mayo contingent. And his comments, whether you read into them or not about AVP, it's like survival of the fittest. You could blow one person, two people, three coaches out, but you really, it's the same dysfunction that was at the end under Bill. Like, you're seeing the same things. There's dividers in the locker room. There were reports of mutinies earlier in the season, and whether that's true or not, and I think it was true, you can't have a locker room divided and not pushing for a unified cause. There's no reason they should only have 3 wins this year.
Agreed, man. I think that the roster stinks, but they're better than 3 wins. Anyways, I said they'd be the worst team in the league this year, which means lowest amount of wins. They are 1 game back from that. I said under 5.5. Oh, we might get that this week, baby. Under 5.5 could cash. Let's ask Alex Barth. Let's see what he has to say about all this. He's from 98.5thesportshub.com, and we'll do that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Let's talk to our guy. His name's Alex Barth. He is from 98.5thesportsup.com, and he joins us here on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Alex, you watched the game yesterday. Were you more frustrated for what happened on the field or what was said after the game?
What happened on the field? Now, Gerard Mayo, the post-game comments, specifically the one about, I didn't say that, you did. Of all the weird press conference moments Gerard Mayo's had this year, I think that ranks at the top of the list as the worst one. But that being said, I don't really care what he's saying if the product on the field would be better, right? And at the end of the day, he's there to coach the football team, not give press conferences. The fact that they played one of their better games of the year against the Colts and then had 2 weeks to build off that with the bye week and came out and showed regression instead of development, I think that's much more alarming than anything that was said in a press conference.
Before we get into the rest of that, did you have a positive takeaway from Drake May's day? And I know he had some garbage points at the end, but what were overall your thoughts on his play? And do you think his morale right now is at the lowest it's been all year?
I mean, the throw to Kendrick Bourne, I don't really care that it's garbage time. That's an impressive throw. I would acknowledge most of his production came there. My biggest takeaway on his game, and I thought he was good. I didn't think he was bad. He wasn't great. I didn't think he was bad. My biggest takeaway on his game was that even though he threw a pick, it hit the receiver in both hands. I wouldn't say he put the ball in harm's way, which obviously was an issue for him earlier in the year. So I thought he was fine in that regard. And then, sorry, what was the second part of that question?
Just when did you see his morale? Like he scored the touchdown and then didn't seem happy about it. And then after the game, wanted that QB sneak.
Yeah, I think that just goes to, again, the touchdowns in garbage time. They're losing. He's a very competitive guy. I don't think he's the kind of person that's going to celebrate a garbage time touchdown. I just don't think that's his personality. I think he's more frustrated with the losing as opposed to getting the score.
Alex, can you give us the facts of the way that they practice during the bye week? How many practices that they have? And yeah, we saw regression, no doubt, after the bye week. But do you think coaching did enough to get the guys ready to play in Arizona?
No, it didn't. It didn't. And they had one practice during the bye week. Teams will sometimes have two. I wonder if because it was so late in the year, they made rest a priority. But they still had even so, they had a full week of practice leading up to this game. I mean, they actually had more because they came back. They practiced on Monday, which they don't usually do. A regular week, Monday's an off day. You're at least from practice, you're recovering from the game. It's a recovery day. You might have meetings. Tuesday's usually off day, and you practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they actually had an extra practice. They practiced only once during the bye week. They practiced one extra time leading up to this game, 4 practices total. And they looked like a team coming off a short week. Not even the regular week. They looked like they did against the Jets when they had the short week. So they didn't look prepared. They didn't.
All right. That was one of the things that upset me. It was just, you just had a bye week and your line looked worse, right? The snaps were worse. The snap count was worse. The guys didn't look ready defensively. It was like they didn't even prep, and I wasn't impressed at all by the Cardinals. I thought they've really regressed, and yesterday I just thought that they saw a team that they could beat up on.
Yeah, and that was part of it too. We've talked a lot about the season was kind of be defined by the progress they made at the end of the year, and obviously it's a tough end to the schedule. You got the Bills twice, the Chargers in between. This felt like the game coming off the bye against a Cardinals team that was 0-3 since their bye week, traditionally is not good in December. This felt like the game to show that progress with extra time to prepare. And obviously they didn't do that.
Just to follow up, you said that they only practice once during the bye week. Generally, most teams do too. Is it unusual today that the team players weren't available to the media?
Based on what the schedule's been this year, yes. They've had availability, I think, every Monday after game. I don't remember what they did, what the schedule was after the Jets game, the short week game, how they did that. But, yeah, it's been pretty much every week. There's been players speaking Monday afternoon.
All right, he's Alex Barth, 98.5 thesportsup.com. I saw you in the hallway, and I was air frying it, so I'll take it out of the air fryer. I already let it out. But watching Jonathan Kraft up there with Robert, and him being frustrated and shaking his head and taking notes and maybe lip syncing or lipping that this is a terrible offense, terrible play calling, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but something inside my Patriots heart moved where I said, whoa, that guy, I'm usually down on that guy. I don't want that guy involved in anything. And I'll use the word anti-hero, but it's not the guy that we thought would be the guy. Maybe it's the guy it needs to be for, of all the reports that we heard this week of, he's been at Robert Kraft is assured Gerard Mayo coming back next year. If Jonathan has to get in the ear of his old man for that, I'm in on that. And maybe I've been looking the wrong way at Jonathan Kraft all this time.
I mean, anytime you're talking about a coaching search in any sport, it's ownership. Gerard Mayo's not going to step down, right? It's going to be ownership's going to have to make a move, and it's going to be one of the two people, if not both, that were in that camera shot that make that decision. So, yeah, if you're somebody that thinks Gerard Mayo needs to be one and done, you're looking at Robert and Jonathan to make that call. Nobody else is. I'm sure that there's other advisors that they'll talk to, but at the end of the day, it's their team, it's their decision.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy on that one. And just to double down on it, it seems like now the breadcrumbs are going to potentially Van Pelt being the fall guy. You've had Kraft say what he said after the game, of course, Mayo, and then even Drake May saying, I wanted to run the ball there. But yet we're not hearing much about the defense and giving up over 300 more, 40 more points at this point than a year ago. The terrible run defense, Covington, all that stuff. Why are we hearing less about the heat on the hot seat for him, and we're hearing it more on Alex Van Pelt?
It's a fair critique. I think that's just the way the NFL's talked about. The modern game defense is an afterthought. It's the fantasy football era, and defense is just kind of there to get in the way. Nobody really cares. Whereas offense, that's the stars. That's the side of the ball you talk about. If the defense has a good day in practice, we talk about how the offense was bad, didn't move the ball. So I think that's just, and I don't think that's right. I hate that the league's talked about that way, but I think that's what that is. I'd be kind of disappointed if Alex Van Pelt was the fall guy. Look, if you tell me that there's room to upgrade an offense coordinator, I certainly think there is. But across the board, Van Pelt's probably been the best of their high-profile coaches. When you look at the development Drake May has had, when you look at what he's gotten out of really limited resources with that offensive line, the job him and Scott Peters have done up front. If you're telling me they're cleaning house, they're moving on from everybody, I get it. If it's Van Pelt as the fall guy and Covington's back, that to me would be a little reactionary because of the two units, the offense has been the better unit this year.
Talking to Alex Barth, 98.5 thesportsup.com. I got Belichick and college stuff for you in a minute here, but all right, let's just play fantasy, okay?
Okay.
If Alex Barth was general manager, VP of the New England Patriots, who would you want in here next season to turn the Patriots around? Coach, GM, do you have a guy in mind that it can be unrealistic, but is there a guy that you want?
I mean, the two big names, right, are the big names for a reason, Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel. I think Vrabel is, and I'll throw in that, and we haven't heard him talked about, and again, I don't know what the, if he's planning on looking at jobs, and he obviously has, that litigation with the league with Brian Flores. I've always been a massive fan of Brian Flores as a coach. I thought he got a very raw deal in Miami. By the way, his predecessor is doing a worse job than he did. Mike McDaniel, 3-15 against teams over 500, gassed up maybe more than any coach in the league unfairly. Anyway, that's a side rant. I think Flores is a really good coach. I think he's a tone setter. I think he's a program builder. Same for Mike Vrabel. Ben Johnson, we don't know what he's like as a head coach, and I'm usually kind of hesitant on those offensive guru guys. Again, you look at what's happening with Mike McDaniel, but who's going to maximize Drake May of the options that are out there? You figure Ben Johnson's going to do as good of a job as anybody unless San Francisco decides they've had enough of Kyle Shanahan. So the big names are the big names for a reason. I don't know that there's like this sleeper coaching candidate out there for people to look at. I'd like somebody proven. I guess that would be where I'd start. Vrabel, Flores, again, these are guys that have done it. They've won, maybe not at the highest level, but coaches who are available for a reason. They've done it. They've done it at a high level. Those would be the kind of guys I'd look at.
Yeah, I don't know who they're going to get is going to be the next question, right? Like, who wants to – like, if Gerard Mayo comes back, who wants to be here? I just look at it and say, if they fire a guy after a year, who wants to be here?
Yeah, well, that's going to be kind of a big question, is how is Gerard Mayo being one and done perceived by coaching candidates? Because a lot of, how fast can you install your program? Mayo didn't have a lot to work with. The roster isn't good. So, if I'm coming in as a potential coach, well, am I going to get more than a year? It's going to take more than a year to turn this around. You only get so many shots at showing you can be an NFL head coach. And I could, there might be other places where potential coaches will feel they'll have a little more security. Obviously, the NFL is what have you done for me lately league. And the league is a problem when it comes to patience, especially with coaches and quarterbacks. But that is going to be, if they move on from Mayo, that is going to be part of the conversation. Are guys going to feel like they have enough wiggle room here to implement the program they need to implement?
My realistic options, because I don't think they can get anybody, are Dan Lanning of Oregon, because maybe he wants to take the jump and they're ready to pay a guy to build a program. My other realistic candidate is John Gruden, because they can't get anybody else, and at least he has experience.
Putting Lanning in the realistic category is like I can't see that guy leaving. He's got an amazing setup in Oregon.
I agree with you. I agree.
There's also and look, this is coming from somebody who's a massive fan of Dan Lanning. I think he took the torch from Saban. He is the best coach in college football right now.
Yep.
And the job he's done with Oregon is tremendous. The track record of college coaches, even very successful ones, career college coaches jumping to the NFL is not good. Matt Rule, tremendous college coach, did a great job. He turned Temple into a viable program. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Chip Kelly, he's done it. I mean, the only guys are Pete Carroll.
Right. So and again, I say this as a big fan of Dan Lanning. The idea of hiring a career college coach to an NFL team as a head coach, if it's a coordinator, that's one thing. As a head coach, that makes me nervous, no matter who it is. You couldn't give me a better option to pick than Dan Lanning. If anybody was going to do it, it would be Dan Lanning right now.
That's why I got him
on there.
I
would still be very nervous.
He's on my. If it happens, Alex, I want you to remember this date.
All right.
I also want you to remember that if they can't get anybody, John Gruden's available.
Gruden's an interesting one too. Now he's got some other baggage that comes with that, but I've always liked him as a coach. I think that would be a fun hire if they could make it work.
All right. Well, speaking of fun college football, Bill Belichick now in college. What I like about this is there are people out there that are doubling down that they will not watch college football because of this. And I will tell everybody that, I don't get why locally here some people just don't want to be open-minded about the college football game. It drives me crazy that people just poo-poo it as a, just a regional sport.
Felger had quite the rant today, and that's kind of what he talked about. It's like a Southern thing. But, there's a lot of people, I think, like you and me that watch both and view them, all right, I'm going to watch football, right? They're fans of the sport itself. And if you're truly a fan of football, you're going to watch both. You're going to watch whatever football you can. Then there's people who just watch college football. And that's probably more of a regional thing. But from my experience, the people who just watch college football, who don't watch a ton of NFL, they're just kind of the NFL's whatever. They just don't really acknowledge it. They don't talk about it. They don't, if you ask them why they don't watch it, it's just not for me. Okay. The people who only watch the NFL and don't watch college, the exclusive NFL fans, they love to tell you that they don't watch college football. They love to tell you how inferior college football is.
It reminds me of wrestling fans. They don't want to tell you that they watch it, but even though they're watching. You know what I mean? But keep going. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, there's some sort of inferiority complex or whatever, or they like to be up on a pedestal, but the people who just watch the NFL, They love to tell you they do that. And I think in their eyes, and they view this as Bill essentially like leaving the NFL. And that's where the story ends, is that he's not in the NFL. They don't care where he went. But I think to them, Bill going to the college level is like this thing that they viewed as irrelevant. The greatest coach in the history of their sport, well, now it's good enough for him. So they have to kind of square that, and I think they're having trouble with that.
I think he's going to be good because I do think that the ACC,
I think so too.
I think the ACC is so middling that you get a good coach and a good quarterback. I said it, a good coach, good quarterback in the ACC. But think about it, everyone's down, right? Like Castellanos is going to Florida State. I don't think that's going to raise them. Maybe Clemson loses Klubnik, right? Like all those. Now Cam Ward's gone, right? Like I look at the people that were at the top are going to take a step back. Will SMU be as good, or will those guys go into the portal, right? Like I feel like him being a middling ACC team, he'll be better than BC, better than Syracuse, better than Pitt. They'll probably be better than Virginia Tech. I just look at that conference and I say they could win right away.
And it's not, even within the ACC, it's not a tough schedule with how many teams are in that conference. They play Clemson and Syracuse. They don't play Pitt. They don't play BC. They don't play Virginia Tech. They don't play Miami. Like it's Wake Forest. It's I'm trying to
Richmond,
lost their coach today.
Charlotte, Richmond.
Within the ACC, I'm saying they play the dregs of the ACC. Even in a bad conference, they play the bad teams. So look, he's going to do well in the transfer portal. You see players are already going back who put their names in. He's going to have a solid roster. I'd imagine he's going to put a lot of resources towards the offensive line, which matters immensely in college football, especially when you're in not the SEC or Big Ten. You can build an SEC offensive line. I don't know if he's going to win a national championship year one, but I expect him to finish the year ranked. And I expect him to be right in the mix for the ACC championship, if not in it.
Just because we're talking about it, August 30th, they play TCU. Remember, Deion Sanders' first game was against.
First game was TCU,
yeah. There you go. The hardest part of their schedule, being realistic, is after they play Richmond. They play 3 straight road games. UCF, who had an up-and-coming year this year. Cal, right, who's at Cal's a tough place to play, and then a night game probably at NC State. Those 3 road games in a row, I think they lose 1 or 2 of those games. But they have Clemson on deck in the home one, and then Duke at home. They have their final 4 out of 5 games at home. I just feel like that could be a team that can compete for the ACC.
So the interesting thing about that Cal game for me is like this was a big challenge for a lot of college coaches this year. Is you didn't really go cross country.
Yep.
And Bill, having been an NFL coach, has managed that trip. So he has experience in doing that, and that's something I think will help him.
All right, if the Patriots have the number 3 overall pick and 2 quarterbacks are off the board, who's the first position player off the board?
I think it should be Travis Hunter. I'd explore a trade down strongly. If I'm the Patriots, assuming they're drafting Travis Hunter as a wide receiver, I think he's the pick. But Hunter's the best player in this draft. It should be him.
I like that. Not any linemen that you've seen.
I mean, so I said I'd explore a trade down. I look at a guy like Will Campbell. If you can get Will Campbell, assuming his arms are long enough to play tackle, and an extra first-round pick either this year or next year, I'd rather have that than Travis Hunter, Will Campbell plus a pick.
All right, Michael Vick just took a job with Sacramento State, huh?
Oh, did that happen? I saw the rumors say they were working on it.
Yeah, they are working on it. But
okay,
wow, is it a trendsetter for Bill Belichick?
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to Deion, but we've seen this now where like these colleges are kind of making these outside the box hires. I'll give you another one, and he was hired a couple weeks ago, but Eddie George is at, I think, Tennessee Tech, and they've been really good under him. He's the next guy. I wonder if he makes a jump to FBS. His coaching stock is up. Ohio State grad. So, if Ryan Day is on the hot seat, Eddie George of Tennessee State, I wonder if maybe we see Eddie George be the next one of these guys.
And Teddy Bridgewater just won his high school after 1 year. Maybe he jumps as well. All right, man. Hey, where does Quinn Ewers end up, the draft or transfer portal?
I think he's going to the draft, but there was some rumor out there today that Bill really likes him. That would be something if he ends up at UNC. But I think he'll go to the draft. If he can have a good playoff game, if he can play well against Clemson, there's teams need quarterbacks right now. There's more teams that need quarterbacks than quarterbacks in this draft. He'll get his stock up enough to be like a late first-round pick.
He's Alex Barth, everybody. Check him out, 98.5thesportshub.com. You have the Sunday show, which will be, 8 to 10, and then nothing after
Yep, 8 to 10 with Tyrone Battle on Sunday.
Oh, I hate the 4 o'clock game. Oh, did you like that yesterday?
So, like, selfishly, it is nice because I do that show 8 to 10. It is nice to be able to come home and get a quick nap in before the game.
Ooh, a napper.
But I get to watch 1 o'clock Red Zone, which is nice. But I do understand why some people maybe are annoyed by that and would rather have the 1 o'clock game. I'm coming at that from a unique position.
All right, he's Alex Barth, 98.5thesportshub.com. Alex, appreciate your time, bud.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
All right, he's Alex Barth, everybody. Check out his work over at 98.5thesportshub.com. All right, well, take a quick look at the headlines, and I have been workshopping a potential take when it comes to the Celtics. And I want to pick a green teamer, one of the hosts of the Green Teamer podcast. His name is Skaz. We'll do that after the headlines here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, we got football underway right now. Monday night, there's a doubleheader. right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Zone. I'm going to make this one quick, everybody. Kristaps Porzingis hurt his heel in Washington. It's his second ailment in 7 days since being back from surgery. 7 games. Skaz of the Green Teamers, who recorded last night. Any concern for you, James Scaramuzzino?
Yeah, I think there's always concern when it's a big guy and it's a foot injury. I know they said it was his heel, like you just said, and that it was more precautionary than anything else, but it's just rest him. You have, they only have 2 games again this entire week. They play the Bulls twice, I believe. So it's kind of a good soft spot. I wrote something today for the website how missing out on the NBA Cup may actually benefit this team long term because they're not traveling. They're not playing a lot of games. And I wouldn't call them an older team, but they certainly have some veteran pieces that need rest. Al Horford, they have to manage. Porzingis, obviously not an older guy, but someone that needs to be managed. And even Drew Holiday, Tatum, and Derek White, 3 guys that have been playing basketball year-round, long playoff runs, the Olympics, all that. I think they have to manage these guys. I wrote that last year, I think the number 1 seed was very important. They were, I don't want to call them untested, but they had never won before. Right? This year, I don't think the number 1 seed is as important because they have won and they know they are battle tested. They knew that last year too, but they had never gotten over the hump. So for me, health supersedes any seeding for them this year. I think their number 1 goal the rest of the season should be stay healthy, manage these guys, and Porzingis should be right at the top of that list.
Okay, remember your boy Kyle Irving?
Absolutely. He's in town.
He is. Well, tell Kyle that the Sporting News.
That's him. Well, not anymore, but yeah.
Now at Underdog.
Yes.
His replacement, Colin Keane, has put out something that says, should Brad Stevens consider trading Porzingis before his stock falls to an untradeable degree? And this is the trade that he thinks, and this is my take for 2025. I think the Celtics move on from Porzingis in 2025. That doesn't mean this season. Just remember what that means, 2025. The proposed trade would be Porzingis to Houston in exchange for a more durable, healthy Steven Adams. But you would also get secondary stars. Jabari Smith Jr., nice player. I like him.
Yeah, why are the Rockets doing that?
What about Reed Shepherd? Cam Whitmore, just to match up the salaries. All I'm saying is this. Forget about the Rockets' sake of it. Is it something to consider? I don't know if the Rockets are willing to take the risk. Do they need Porzingis? Probably not.
No, they're not going to trade their future for Kristaps Porzingis.
Do you think there's a team out there that looks at Porzingis and says, that's the guy that can help us?
I'm sure there is, Joe, but wouldn't it be a team that's just like the Celtics when they acquired Porzingis that can't get over the hump and is looking to move someone like a Marcus Smart that is, a fit but not a great fit, someone that hasn't been able to get them over the hump? So for me, it's, do I think they move on from Porzingis eventually? Yes. Do I think it makes sense to do it in the next year and a half? Not really. I think you need him for as long as this window is open. Even if he only plays 50 games, 40 games, what did he play in the postseason? 3 games? Whatever it was. You needed him. That jump, that spark, Missoula talks about it, Jalen talks about it, Tatum talks about it. They're a different team with Porzingis. Not even just on the court.
I agree.
How they carry themselves. They're a looser bunch with Porzingis. He's a vibes guy that happens to also be a unicorn.
Just find it funny that now after 7 games that he's played, he has 2 injuries, and now the trade chatter is starting. Sporting News. It's quoting you a source. I like the Rockets and what they're doing in Ime Udoka and everything like that.
I can't imagine the Rockets are trading you 3 of their future stars for an aging, injured Kristaps Porzingis.
Maybe Utah would do that, though.
Oh, Danny, looking to do the Celtics a favor, I'm sure.
Always doing a favor. We got In or Out, and that's coming up next. In this hour, the sports has been brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It's now open in Rainham, Reading, and Braintree. We'll do in or out coming up next.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
No, it's like it almost looks like the Lombardi Trophy, but with like two, toaster slots on the top of it that you can slide down, and then
So I could make like 2 bagels.
you can make Pop-Tarts in it, Joe.
Oh, that's what it'd be. It'd be for Pop-Tarts. What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor?
Probably brown sugar cinnamon. Got to be up there.
Wow, that's a direct answer right away. I like cherry and blueberry.
Wild berries also a good one.
Wild berry is a good one. Can you choose what flavor you want? Okay, so when you win, you can get wild berry. Can I just state for the record that I think Pop-Tart is just I think of vending machines and how long they've been in there.
Oh, so the Seinfeld movie didn't sway you?
Movie? Seinfeld movie?
Didn't he make a Pop-Tart movie recently?
No, I haven't seen it.
It was all over Netflix, yeah.
Oh my God, I feel like I need to see this.
Apparently not very good, Joe. Not very good.
Well, all I'll say is, like, I eat Pop-Tarts only in desperation. Like, if there's nothing else to eat, I eat a Pop-Tart. By the way, do you like a raw Pop-Tart? Or does it have to be toasted?
I think I prefer toasted, but yeah, I'm not going to get picky. Pop-Tart is kind of it's like you looking for hope with Jonathan Kraft. A little bit of a desperation move at times, but everyone loves a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, if you're eating a Pop-Tart, it's like, there's like, you're poor and it's times are tough. What I mean by poor is times are tough. Hey, listen.
Joe, I've eaten a lot of ramen and Pop-Tarts in my day.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? Oh my God, I hate the smell of ramen. Oh, I used to go to Bridgewater State College, right? I didn't go there, but I used to meet friends who went there, and it would smell like ramen everywhere I went. Out on the smell of ramen. Is there a ramen Pop-Tart?
No, but Joe has let me know there is a Frank's Red Hot goldfish. Would you be in or out on a Frank's Red Hot goldfish?
What did I just ask you again? What did I just ask?
Ramen Pop-Tart.
What about ramen goldfish?
I think I'm out.
I'm out too. Out on ramen. I didn't live at a college. I didn't go away to a college. But if I had to live my life eating ramen, it'd be a lot more skinnier. All right, what else we got tonight, guys?
All right, Joe, sticking with kind of the food theme here, Goose Creek Candles has announced 9 new M&M scented candles. Joe, we have strawberry shake M&Ms, holiday mint, crunchy cookie, caramel cold brew, peanut, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, peanut butter, and just plain old caramel. Joe Murray, are you in or out on M&M scented candles?
In. I've never smelled an M&M.
I thought you were a sniffer, Joe.
No, I don't think M&Ms give a smell. Remember the peanut butter and jelly ones Street Team Joe had?
That's right, yes.
Those things didn't smell.
With the world of television and movies, Joe, are you familiar with the film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yeah.
Well, Joe, they're rebooting it. Joe Murray, are you in or out on a remake of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
That does nothing for me.
Right there with you. Can't say the original did much for me either, but...
All I remember is Dick Van Dyke.
Still alive, by the way.
His birthday, it was Friday night.
He's got to be like 100, right?
I don't want to talk about the man.
The Murray curse.
Does Street Team Joe know about this?
He's aware now.
Street Team Joe, I try not to talk about certain people.
You had a number of curses this year.
The year ain't over yet.
I hope Dick Van Dyke makes it to New Year's, Joe. That's all I'll say.
Oh, no.
That's all I'll say. Hope you haven't mentioned Sister Jean anytime recently either.
No, that was you. You said it, I didn't. You said it, I didn't. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
All right, Joe. Well, your guy, Bryan Cranston, has announced that Malcolm in the Middle will be getting a revival series on Disney+. Frankie Muniz, Bryan Cranston, and Jane Kaczmarek, I believe, will reprise their roles. Joe Murray, are you in or out on a reboot of Malcolm in the Middle?
You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now. You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big. I could care literally less. Even though Frankie's a race car driver now, right?
I believe that is correct.
So you got Walter White, a race car driver. What else? Who's the other? What else do we have?
Jane, she plays the mother, I believe.
What has she done after that show? I feel like she's always a mom who's always doing laundry and who's always aggravated. Right?
Not seeing a lot post Malcolm in the Middle.
That's all. This is to give her more. This is the, what's her name again?
Jane Kaczmarek.
This is the Jane K bump. She's going to get the Bryan Cranston rub, and it's one more just payday for Frankie Muniz or whatever the hell his name is. Right? She's done nothing.
She was in something called The Boat Builder in 2019 or 2015. I'm sorry.
Wow. That was just a great movie.
Yeah. Not a lot going on the IMDb. She was in the Chips reboot, which I'm sure took the world by storm.
Big one. Yeah, they wore nut huggers, I remember. Like really skinny shorts.
All right, Joe. We will end with this one tonight.
Okay. Out, by the way.
We are already aware that Nicolas Cage will be playing John Madden in an upcoming biopic. But it was announced today that Christian Bale is nearing a deal to play former Oakland Raiders owner Al Davis. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Christian Bale as Al Davis?
And I think that he's a great actor. I think he is a little nuts. I think he is a little bit of a perfectionist. I think he is a weirdo. I do think he's a great actor. So I think that he'll take the time to do it. I'm sure he'll watch the video. He'll probably meet people that know Al Davis. If there's one guy I think that will really try to be in it. I used to feel that way about Val Kilmer, but then after a while I felt like Val Kilmer just wanted to do like he wanted to be Jim Morrison, right? Like he wanted to just do things that were a little more elaborate, and I just kind of lost touch, even though I do think he was great. I do.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where, to me, my age, Val Kilmer is almost like a parody. He's almost like a caricature of himself. It's wild that he was a hunk and one of the best actors for a period of time because I don't want to say he's become a joke, but it's just when I think of Val Kilmer, I think of him being poked fun at more than anything else.
Yeah, like him being the in Top Gun, being the I said it, you didn't.
You said it, I didn't.
Jesus. That ain't that. What's gonna be worse, that or Burning Cash? You know who's great at this, by the way? Andrew Callahan. He has this running things that Mayo has said this year that is wild. I said, you know what? Let's go to break. But I did say that the way he handled that glass of orange juice and then he spilled it was exactly the way this season would go. I'm not trying to tell you that I was right, but damn it, I nailed that one. Small victories, everybody. Small victories. All right, that's in or out for tonight. I'm Joe Mari Skaz. Thank you. We'll be back with more coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. Make this one quick. Anybody, if anyone doesn't vote for Josh Allen, I do agree. The Patriots take on Buffalo. The game got flexed to 425. I have a few numbers for you regarding Josh Allen just over the last 3 games. Passing-wise, Josh Allen is 58 of 88. In the last 3 games, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards. He has 1,027 total yards. He has 14 touchdowns in his last 3 games. Hey, Street Team Joe, will you look up if the Patriots have 14 touchdowns this year? I think they do, right? I feel like I have to look that one up. He has no interceptions, no fumbles, and no sacks taken. I'll just repeat the numbers one more time. Josh Allen in his last 3 games, 58 of 88, 1,027 yards, 14 touchdowns, no interceptions, no fumbles, no sacks. That's an insane number. Insane number. What is he not going to do to the Patriots this week? What's he not going to do? By the way, do the Patriots have 14 touchdowns in the year? I don't want to look it up. I feel like they do have over because I feel like Drake May maybe has thrown a bunch. But I would question what he's done in the last 3 games versus what the Patriots offense has done this year.
The Patriots have 24 touchdowns, I believe.
Okay.
How many are those offensive? Give me one moment.
Oh. And I believe Josh Allen, Football Reference. Let's see. Josh Allen on the season. Josh Allen has 25 touchdowns himself this season.
And the Patriots have 24.
Josh Allen, 25 touchdowns. The Patriots, 24. Is that good? Is that good? He's also thrown for 3,300 yards. He has 5 interceptions on the year.
The Patriots have 9 rushing touchdowns and 14 passing touchdowns.
Let's see. He has... I have his game logs, but so this year, I got to do the math now, huh? He's got 25 passing touchdowns. I didn't even look at his rushing touchdowns.
So he has 11 more passing touchdowns than the Patriots.
So in 2024... he has okay. I'm just looking at that one. Wow, he has a receiving touchdown too. Josh Allen has more offense in himself than the Patriots the entire season. I don't know what they're going to do with this guy this weekend. He should be the MVP. All right, we'll take a quick break. Just wanted to let everyone know about those numbers because. If you want to do something else this weekend, go Christmas shopping or something, that might be watch the 1 o'clock games, go out at 4 o'clock, that'd be the way to go. We'll hit the headline here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, we got Monday Night Football in action right now. Vikings up 10-0 on the Bears, 1:37 to go in the first quarter on that one. And also just getting underway, Raiders and Falcons. Raiders have 2 wins on the year. The Patriots have 3. A win tonight for the Raiders would help my bet. And that's what we care about. Headlines, they are brought to you by Valvoline and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your next drive through oil change. At Valvoline and Oil Change now, but in Franklin, Billerica, and in Peabody. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Save big with clearance prices on all 2024 models at
All right, back here 98.5, the Sports Hub. So Skaz did this, not me. He did it, I didn't. Skaz did it, I didn't. So I've heard the Joe Murray cul-de-sac before. Cul-de-sac, excuse me. I've heard it. I've heard, here we go. We're in the Joe Murray cul-de-sac, and I just feel like the Joe Murray cul-de-sac is when Felger doesn't want to hear what I have to say. That's what I think it is. Actually, as funny as they did the year-end thing, and then because I remember we were at the Big Night Live studios.
You asked for my opinion.
And so I gave him an opinion. I said that the Celtics are front runners and you're going to win the championship playing that style. And then he said, I don't care about your opinion. And then I said, well, you asked for my opinion, which is true, right? So the cul-de-sac became a thing where I don't know if I'm younger, he's older, he steers the conversation and then demands an answer out of you, and I give the answer and he doesn't like it. I don't know what the cul-de-sac is. Somehow it's been blamed that I'm the problem.
Yes.
So I will take the accountability then. Fine.
Joe, I would say Felger likes when people are concise. Would you say that's correct?
Yes.
He wants you to get to the point?
Yeah, like Bert Breer, for example, will tell you that Bill Belichick called Mike Tannenbaum himself, who is now running the GM job, although that's really what happened. He called Mike Tannenbaum. He didn't call the Jets per se, but he called Mike Tannenbaum, who's now the former Jets, who's now helping. So that's all linked to the Jets, right? Is that concise?
I would say they're not quite fans of Bert Breer being long-winded.
Okay.
I think we could say that. I would say Felger preaches being concise, getting right to the point, and not wavering. If you have a take, stick by it. I think you would agree with those.
Yes, I would all agree. Now, this isn't. Skaz did this. I did. Just to throw that out there.
Yes, Joe. I was listening to the Felger and Maz program today.
And I just want real quick. Felger and Maz isn't in our head. We like the guys. This is just simple.
Joe, I love Tony and Mike. I think this is just hilarious.
Like they call us green teamers. Now you do the Green Teamer podcast. I don't think I'm a green teamer.
No, Joe, we just said they were the best team in the league because they were, and we said they were going to win the title because they were going to, and they did.
And I would just like to let you know that even though they shoot the most threes than any other team.
You know what's weird, Joe? They flashed a graphic yesterday. I'm glad you brought this up. It was the top 7 three-point shooters in the NBA. You know who was number 1 on that list? Who shot the most threes or made the most threes this year?
That would be Peyton Pritchard.
No, Joe.
No.
That would be Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah, he's number 1. That's right.
Yeah, isn't that strange?
Oh, my God, that's right. So you mean to tell me that Anthony Edwards, who they think is a dog.
He's got the aura, Joe.
And he drives to the basket so much. But who's number 1 in the league?
That would be Anthony Edwards.
Who's
Joe.
number 2 in the league?
I know that Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and Tatum were all inside the top 7.
I was going to say. So just so we're clear, the dog, who they'd rather have Anthony Edwards than Jason Tatum, right? I believe that was the conversation. And they shoot too many threes. That dog is number 1 in the league and makes.
Yes, Joe. So
I wish I followed you better on that one because you're right. You're
right. You're right, Joe. You're right. But no, I was listening to Felger and Maz today, and I started to notice a little bit of inconsistencies. Maybe Mike wasn't fully committing to his point. He seemed to be meandering, going back and forth a little bit. So, Joe, I just want you to take a listen to this audio and let me know if it sounds like Mike Felger is going round and round.
Let's listen.
And I think you're right to start with the Crafts because I think they're on a bad run here. And like I've said before, I don't think they're cheap, but I do think they run it like a business. There are times that they certainly are tight with money. There's no doubt about it. And they cheap out on certain things. Overall, I feel like for the most part, they will spend what it takes, but they're not going to overspend. That's for sure. And I do think it's time for them to reestablish themselves as good owners. Yes. I don't blame you if you've lost faith that they've been on such a bad run and shown a lack of investment. in the team, the staff, and the decisions that go along with it, that if you've lost faith, then you've lost faith. I can't put that faith back into you.
I think that's his only point, is that he's lost faith.
Yeah, well, that's the end of the conversation. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. I think they're smart, invested people who care about the team and know what they're doing. And if they just apply themselves and are willing to invest in it and put their money where their mouth is, are going to make the right decisions.
Oh.
When smart people are fully invested in something, more often than not, it works. I think some of their stuff has been like almost willful, meaning like you know Gerard Mayo as a fifth-year positional coach at linebacker is not ready for this. You knew it. You know it. Okay? So, like, I don't think that I think that was something that they, in a moment of weakness or in a bad decision, promised him a job a year or two ago and just followed through with it. But they didn't sit there and say, I can't believe that they sat there and said, this guy is the goods. This is the next guy. We see it. We see the brilliance and we see the ability now, and it's just a matter of time before it comes out. I just think they didn't want to buy him out. And so they didn't want to spend that money, and then they didn't want the embarrassment of having to break a promise.
So just, you know.
Was that one segment or like.
Joe, that was one segment. That was part of one segment.
That was a block.
That was a block of one segment where Mike Felger repeatedly told you that the Patriots and the Crafts aren't cheap and then cited direct reasons immediately afterwards on why they are cheap.
How they won't spend the most, but will pay.
That last one, too. I know it's a little long-winded where he goes on the Mayo thing there and then he ends it with, well, they didn't want to buy him out. So, yeah, we preach consistency, Joe, on the night show. We like, consistency. I wouldn't say we preach being concise. That's not exactly our strong suit. But I just thought that was very funny this afternoon to listen to that one segment and hear Felger repeatedly say the Patriots are not cheap and then give multiple direct examples of how they have been cheap over the last few years.
I liked the round and round. What goes around, comes around here.
Yeah, I thought that was very fitting.
So that was just one. Do you have more?
I do have more, Joe. Would you like to hear another?
Yes.
Okay,
let's again, everybody. Skaz said it, not me. Go ahead.
No music for this one, Joe. We're just gonna. It's just Felger. No editing here. Just a couple dings. That's all.
Okay.
Mayo knew how to kiss the ring and ingratiate himself. So if Robert could just snap out of it for a second and think about it in a hard way, he knows.
Of course.
So, I don't think they're bad decision makers.
No, not in general.
And I also think they've decided we're in a little run here where they're deciding to spend their money on the freaking stadium. And I do think that comes out of the player end. I believe that with every franchise. Huh? And so I think that's a willful decision. If they decide to put aside the happy horse crap and the emotion of it, and decide to make a cold, hard, calculated business decision and spend the money necessary behind it, they will make a good decision because they're smart guys. And that's what I think. So I haven't totally lost faith. So if Bert's right that, Vrabel's the hottest candidate here, and but part of the calculus here is that this is where he's going to get hired this offseason, and if you aren't in on Vrabel now, you won't be. This is your chance. If they want Vrabel, they're going to have to be the highest bid or pretty close to it. I think Mike would want to be here. I think he knows they're good owners and this is a good situation. And, never mind Drake May, that whole thing. I still think this is a very attractive job. But he's not going to leave money on the table. If the Bears are after him, if the Jets are after him, you're going to have to outbid everybody or be right there.
So again, just so I understand, he said that they're not cheap.
But they won't pay the most for Vrabel, but they have to pay the most for Vrabel or be right there. Is that right?
Did you hear this on the way in?
I was sitting in the Jock Lounge, Joe. It was probably 5 to 5:15 this afternoon.
Wow.
And it just
so for 15 minutes you listened to that, shaking your head.
I couldn't help myself, Joe. Sometimes the audio finds you.
Is there more just to pay it off?
No, Joe, that is there was more, but that's all I had time for before the show tonight. But yes, just interesting. I thought, just are they cheap? Are they not cheap? Will they pay Vrabel the most? Do they need to pay Vrabel the most? Will he come here if they don't, or he only will come here if they do pay him the most?
So my favorite is when they reference DVOA or some other stat or analytics, yet hate the nerds.
Well, my favorite part of that whole thing is Felger repeatedly tells you that the Crafts are good owners because they're willing to spend money sometimes kind of every once in a while, and they'll get back to being good owners because they are good owners because they're going to spend again. So are they good owners when they spend money? Or are they not good owners when they don't spend money? It just seemed like that was the Mike Felger cul-de-sac right there, Joe. I couldn't help myself.
Wow. It sounds to me like a Midwest loop. What do they call rotaries in the Midwest?
You're gonna get lost, Joe, out there in Milwaukee.
What do you call them out there? People in the chat are curious about this thing called the Jock Lounge.
Yes, I was not familiar with the Jock Lounge until I started working here, but yeah, it's basically just the area we hang out in before the show because. Radio guys, DJ jocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they just call it the Jock Lounge.
Well, the mermaids, as I've called the ladies in our chat, there's the mermen.
The babe is making some comments about the Jock Lounge.
The mermaids would like to be pointed in the direction of the Jock Lounge. What is that? I don't know why that made me laugh so much. Well, you know what? We have the musings, but I think there are some people who would like to get on the air. Tarek. Hello, Tarek.
Listen, Michael Felger and Maz are Scott Fargus and Toady from A Christmas Carol. They are just bullies until you push back. They wipe their bloody nose. They don't like anybody else's opinion but their own. That's why Maz kind of parrots him a lot.
All right, I gotta step in here. I think Skaz is just poking a little bit of fun. He said it, I didn't. But there is no hostility at all. I really want to let everybody know that.
Joe, I don't think you need to preface it, but
listen. There are some guys I've worked with here who just like to put you down and wanted to show their authority. I don't think those guys are like that at all. I don't. But sometimes, what was the word that you used again? They want precise?
Concise, Joe. They like to be concise. Keep it short and sweet.
Yes, I think at times...
Felger wasn't practicing what he preaches, and I just thought somebody needed to, let him know.
Well, it's a re-entry.
Re-entry Monday, yeah. You get a little long-winded there.
It was re-entry today.
He's been hanging out with Bert too much, maybe.
And Maz was out, so...
Maz was in today.
No, but I mean...
Oh, last week.
Yeah,
yes,
so they, it's just... Yeah. But there is absolutely no... This is just busting balls.
Yes, that should show it's a good workplace environment when you can bust some balls.
Exactly.
Every time I get a shout out on the afternoon show, I'm thrilled. That's free publicity, baby.
Hey, listen. The morning show plays our stuff. The afternoon guys like us. Beetle calls in. Zoe calls in. McCall loves it.
We had Milliken on last week.
Milliken, exactly. He was here. If everybody wants to contribute, and this is great. This is why this station has been successful for so long. All right, we got the music's next here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
Oh, know what I wanted to give a shout out to quickly was Justin from Lynn, who calls into our show. He does his own show on Lynn Television. I joined him today in Lynn, and we did he does a television show called The Sports Wrap with Justin. And Justin gave some good takes on the next team that could win the championship in this town and had some excellent stats. And I want to thank all the people over at Lynn TV, for Sal for setting all that up as well. It was cool. So Justin's got he's got a nice little studio, and he's got a nice show. So I'll share that once that's all up. Do you know what I will say that kind of drives me nuts now that I think about it? What's better? Oil heat or just getting a bunch of heaters and plugging them in? So would you rather pay the electricity bill or the oil bill? Like if you had a would you rather? Skaz, I don't know. What do you have? Do you have heater boards? What do you have?
I have electric.
You have electric. So you're cool with
I don't know anything else, so.
Yeah. All right, well, let's turn the mic on for Street Team Joe, who's in studio right now. Joe, what's your last name?
Ariano.
So you're Joe Ariano.
Nice Italian last
But I've never known that, to be honest with you. I had no clue your last name was Ariano. So Street Team Joe, STJ, is here. He's Street Team Joe because you work on the street team.
Yep, street team. Yep, Monday through Friday, and the weekends. So we go that 7 days a week.
So when there's an event, you show up.
Yeah,
and you hand out swag.
Yeah, hand out swag. Promote the station. Get free giveaways, tickets, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, and you just decided one day that you want to do more.
Yeah, I absolutely want to be in the radio industry or in the sports industry. My specific goal one day would be to cover the Celtics. That's like the dream right there. I love.
So you're a big Celtics fan.
Green teamer. I drink the green Kool-Aid every single day.
Oh no!
Absolutely.
See, I can see now why you like the night show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
I'm listening to Skaz's podcast right now.
Oh. The Green Teamers with Jay Stu and Skaz.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, with Skaz and Jay Stu.
Yeah. The Peyton Pritchard agenda, I'm right there with you guys.
What's your hottest Celtics take?
I would say, I think, not only is the championship this season a lock, I think we're going to be the first team to three-peat since, I believe, was it
those Bulls? The
Bulls. And I think we can do it even if we get rid of Holiday or Porzingis next year.
We can do it?
Yeah, we as I am a part of the Celtics.
Okay, just want to make sure.
As a green teamer, you are a part of the Celtics.
Okay, so you're shooting threes as well.
Yes. I would like to think as Pritchard's stock improves, my own personal stock improves.
Wow. Dude, this is a different aura.
Yeah.
When did you realize your love for the Celtics?
Oh, my uncle's had Celtics season tickets since I think he got them the year before Larry Bird, and it was like, have you seen the movie Fever Pitch?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like that's my story. Your uncle takes you to the game, you fall in love with the Celtics. Yeah, I've had the Celtics affect relationships. Me having to go to the games, me having to watch every single game. It's like Fever Pitch. I couldn't relate to Jimmy Fallon anymore.
Okay. I was gonna ask you this, just when it comes to the Celtics, who is your most hated Celtic of all time? Have you ever hated the Celtics?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Skaz, have you ever hated the Celtic?
Oh, Jason Terry.
Oh, you hated Jason Terry?
I hated Jason Terry, mainly because he just got humiliated, and that humiliated Celtics Nation as a whole.
He got dunked on by LeBron.
Exactly.
Not his fault. He was trying to play defense.
Not his fault.
Most guys wouldn't even try and block LeBron.
Not his fault, but that play just lives forever now in sports history is one of the coolest dunks of all time, and it just happens to be on the Celtics.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I've ever I loved Kyrie when he first came here. Obviously, that changed as time went on. Obviously, not a Kyrie guy now. I'm trying to think of someone who just didn't maybe Shaq, but he was so old. It wasn't his fault, or Sheed at the end there. I don't know if he was taking it that seriously. But no, I can't say I've ever hate. I don't hate athletes, Joe. They're just, unless you're Aaron Rodgers or a bad guy like Tyreek Hill or something. But yeah, no, I don't hold those emotions. So that's just not interested.
What about Perk post playing Celtics career, just because of his media presence?
I
was talking
great.
to Skaz about that. I think he is great, but to say he doesn't have a bias against the Celtics, I think he's lying straight through his teeth right there. I think, especially when he didn't get invited to the ring ceremony and everything, and the parade, I think he's hurt by that. He says he's not, but I think he's clearly hurt by that.
Just to answer the question of Antoine Walker's first run here, I hated him because I thought he could have been the best post player if he wanted to be.
He had no interest
and had zero. And I always say this, but if he played in today's game,
Missoula ball,
he would be an all-star. But back then, though, he had such the ability to be a post player, and he just wanted to chuck. And I hated him for that. And when he came back, though, with 88 and did the wiggle, I love that.
The Antoine Shimmy.
So people are saying that Street Team Joe is being interviewed by Street Meat Joe. So I should ask you, what's your favorite street meat?
I think you were mentioning, I don't know if this qualifies as street meat, but you were talking a long time ago about Hong Kong. You go in there and they have, that's where you do the karaoke, and they have that little meat in a stick. You go in there, when I'm in Hong Kong and have a couple drinks, that meat in a stick really hits different.
That was the first thing that popped in your head?
Yeah, that was the first thing that popped in my head. I'm just
What about you, Skaz? What's your favorite street meat?
Yeah, probably a sausage guy outside Fenway or something.
I'm a sausage.
Yeah. You're a sausage, Joe?
Oh, yeah. I go sausage naked with just ketchup. It's weird, right?
That is weird.
I don't want the onions and all the other. No.
That's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
You guys have heard the stories, though, about those sausage trucks. The...
I don't know if we can let this on the air. One
of my friends used to work at one, outside of Fenway, and he would pick it up from his boss's house and be covered in rats and all that sort of stuff.
Well, I don't want to know that.
Yeah,
that doesn't scare me.
I'm not scared by that. By
no,
the way.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know what's more scary is we don't know how the sausage is made.
Don't want to know,
and so I don't want to know. So therefore, whatever happens the next day, it's on me. I'm the one that decided to have that piece of street meat at night. And so that's all I like. Anybody else have questions for Joe? All right, Joe, so you're from Westboro, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Westboro, Massachusetts.
What's famous? What's it famous for?
I wouldn't say.
I mean, Route 9?
Yeah, Route 9. Route 9. We got Chick-fil-A. Chipotle.
Yeah, okay.
We got a lot of good places to eat. I wouldn't say.
What's your favorite place to eat takeout? Like if you were upset or just it was an emotional decision or you wanted to emotionally eat. What is the place that you go to?
Back in the day, this is a disgusting order, but Papagino's used to make a buffalo chicken mac and cheese pizza. And back in the day, sometimes if I was sick or Patriots lost, I would stay home from school and I would order the delivery buffalo chicken mac and cheese pizza. And I would probably, throughout the day, almost take the whole thing down.
So it's a pizza.
Yeah, it's a pizza with mac and cheese and buffalo chicken on it. I don't even know how many calories are in it. It's got to be a week.
This was on a whim, Skaz.
Yeah, this got to be
I just said, hey, do you want to come on the air? And he just did. And he's got an answer for me.
Yeah, he's got it. it's got to be a week's worth of calories.
Do you
but-
dip into blue cheese or
Oh,
ranch?
absolutely. Blue cheese.
No,
Blue
okay.
cheese. Yeah.
I'm getting like Pasta Joe flashbacks. I don't know if you remember Pasta Joe, but
Did you ever know Pasta Joe?
I didn't know Pasta
So wait,
Joe.
you interned on the morning show?
Yeah. Toucher and Rich. I
Who?
interned with Toucher and Rich in 2017. Rich was
Who?
Toucher didn't know my name.
Did either of them know your name?
Rich did. Rich
Okay.
definitely did. John actually broadcasted Bryant, where I went to school.
Wallach?
Yeah, John Wallach.
He didn't wall dick you?
No, funny enough, I think that when I was an intern, I think that's when that started.
Wall dick.
Yeah, well, it was like around that time.
From what I gather,
Brandon Merriweather,
'cause-
right?
Yeah, Wall dick. Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think how Waldick started, if I'm not mistaken, is some guy called in and said that he met Wallach and said, "What's up?"
Yeah.
And Wallach didn't do anything. And so it became Waldicking.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went down. Yeah.
Like,
He's a nice guy when I met him at Bryant, and I actually broadcasted the games for Bryant men's basketball, so I sat
no way.
Yeah.
So you and Wallach on the broadcast?
Well, no. He was
the play-by-play?
Yeah, he was the play-by-play. Mine was the Bryant radio itself. His was
So you
on
did
it.
Bryant radio.
Yeah.
And he did Bryant radio.
But his was actually broadcasted
Yes, on different radio
Yeah, on a
stations.
different
Gotcha.
radio. Mine was just the school.
So you are going to take Wallach's job?
No. I think I actually took stuff from him, like because I was sitting next to him.
So John's a mentor of yours as well.
No,
huh?
he doesn't even know.
Oh, he doesn't know?
He doesn't know I was taking stuff. I would hear him and I'd be like, "Oh, that's a good point."
What'd you
And then
like?
I would
Did
use
you
it
like
myself.
count it?
Count it.
Yeah.
What did you like?
I actually kind of stole Mike Gorman saying, I was like, "Yeah, got it." That sort of stuff. I was just, Celtics green teamer taking his stuff.
Bart says that pizza was the stay-at-home pizza when he was ordering something.
Okay. So I got other people.
Could I make my own buff mac and cheese and my own pizza and make it a buff mac and cheese pizza, or would it not be the same because it wasn't from Papa
No,
Gino?
because I don't think they had normal cheese and normal sauce on it. It was, the mac and cheese was the cheese, and the buffalo chicken was the topping.
Oh, so they made it that way.
Yeah. So I think it would be really difficult to get the crust down, like, a nice crispy crust with the mac and cheese properly cooked on there, but they somehow perfected it.
People are in on emotional meals.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait, what's the name of Esoteric's new song? Stress Eater.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. I'm definitely a stress eater.
Oh, I'm a
Absolutely.
wicked stress.
Yeah.
Do you stress eat when you watch the Celtics?
No, I'm always happy, but when I'm watching the Celtics, usually those games aren't close. But in the playoffs, I will give you, I definitely stress eat. I would say chicken wings are the go-to.
Chicken wings?
Yeah.
I'll
Chicken
get up
wings are
around
nice.
10 a.m., eat a bowl of pasta.
So you like chicken wings, huh? What's your favorite flavor?
I'd have to go Buff's Pub. Honey Hot is like my specific.
Oh, Buff's. So okay, Buff's has like a smaller wing, but it's like a better tasting wing. Is that? Would you agree?
They
with
do
me?
have, I know what you're talking
Like their
about.
wings don't look like frozen wings.
No.
They look
absolutely.
like Buff's wings.
Yeah.
Okay, so Buff's is your number one.
Buff's is by far.
Are
number
you
one.
a drummy or a flat?
I know it's a cop out answer, but can I say both? I'm one. I have one, and I'm immediately like, oh, I'm craving the other, and then I go back.
Tell me likey. Tell
So
me
I
what
think that's
wingy.
just like a big kid answer. I like them all, but I'm gonna go with that.
And blue cheese.
Blue cheese, absolutely,
Are
and
you-
carrots, just to
Out on carrots, bro. You
but
can have the
I
carrots.
do like, if I'm switching flavors, I do like to have something in between to just cleanse the palate.
you guys are like long lost brothers in there. Hey, just let them go. This is unbelievable.
Do you prefer bone or boneless?
Bone in. The taste is way better.
What's
Absolutely.
the biggest difference in the taste for you?
I would say just the overall freshness. I would say boneless. I immediately think of Buffalo Wild Wings, it feels frozen to me. I can.
So you feel like wingy is more fresh, where the tender is more
more
frozen.
Yeah, I get the frozen vibe from it a lot.
Hmm.
I get people say the mess, but I don't care about the mess at all.
Oh yeah, get it all over
Yeah,
me. I love getting my uniform dirty.
Yeah. In fact, if my girlfriend doesn't like Buffalo Wild Wings or like doesn't like wings, like that's an immediate red flag for me. Like if she can't be comfortable around me housing wings.
Wait, you have a girlfriend?
Not right now.
Oh.
So, yeah. But in the past,
Hypothetically, Joe.
hypothetically, in
Come
a world
on.
where I did have a girlfriend,
Keep up, Joe.
she would have to like wings.
All right, so let me just get that one straight one more time. If you had a girlfriend, she would have to be acceptable to the way that you eat wings.
Yeah, she'd have to be cool with, going on a wing date and like
accept him for who he is.
Yeah, exactly. But I also would like to see her eat, wings too, and not be like.
It is interesting that you're having this conversation because women like to get their nails done, right? Manicures and things to that degree, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
To me, I love someone that likes to just get right in there.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
I'm trying to keep this clean over here.
No, I get what you're
So
saying.
you're trying to say that for example, if you're going out on a date to eat, you want to eat.
Yeah.
With that person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you can be yourself.
Yeah.
Would you unbuckle if you were full?
Ooh. I don't know. That might be taking it too far.
All right.
That might be where I draw the line. But if I'm, the relationship's been going on for a while, I might consider it. But initially, I don't think you can do that.
What do you put on your steak and cheese sub?
Oh, I do, peppers, onions, mushrooms, and I do, obviously cheese extra if possible, and mayo.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So the full thing.
So you like it all.
I like it all.
You want it. You want it all.
There's actually a good steak and cheese. Were you
Carl's.
Carl's. It was,
Yeah. I had Carl's about 2 months ago. I actually bought one for Big Jim Murray.
Yeah.
And I ate half. And he ate like the whole thing. And we did 2 to 6 together, just me and him. And at 3:15, I went, dude, I need a nap.
No, absolutely.
That thing is
loaded.
massive.
Yeah. Doesn't it have like sausage in it too? I had one that had everything.
I just get the steak and cheese, but if they got a sausage in it,
I just went in there and I was like, what's the best thing in the menu? And they gave me a steak and cheese with also sausage in it.
I like that.
It was pretty good.
Huh. All right. Well, this has been interesting. What's your favorite holiday meal?
So my grandma, Italian as it gets, makes a great, fantastic eggplant parm. And that's what we have usually for Christmas or for celebrating birthdays. And then so we have eggplant parm with homemade meatballs and penne with vodka sauce. I know that's really specific, but that's my favorite Italian.
Oh, I had a vodka sauce chicken sandwich the other day from Play in Boston.
I didn't even know they did that.
They put it on this like wrap, but it was like a bulky wrap, kind of like a pressed. What are those? Like a panini.
Okay, yeah, that sounds actually.
But it stayed fat, not flat. But the vodka.
The amount of drops in this segment alone, Joe. I'm going to be here all night.
I was thinking back to stuff we were saying. I was like, oh yeah, that could be a good drop. Yeah.
I was told not to unbuckle on a date.
Yeah.
Not a first date.
Yeah. After like a year, I think that's a good threshold to maybe unbuckle. But before that, I don't know if you can do that.
Okay. Give me like a street team story, like so what happens is advertisers reach out to the sports hub, say, hey, we have a grand opening of our new McFlurry machine. Will you send the street team? And so you guys will go out, get a table, put out some swag, meet and greet.
Yeah.
Do some giveaways maybe.
Yeah, so usually a company, or business will hire us. Like last week we went to a place called Patty's in New Hampshire. It was a restaurant, and we were doing a thing called Papa Shot. Try to make as many baskets.
I hosted the Papa Shot final.
Yeah, exactly. And we gave away 2 free Celtics tickets at the end of it. And the companies will try to hire us to generate a little more business. Some fun stuff to do, and all events are different, and some are better.
It's marketing, and we
Yeah.
just call it street team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're a marketing coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone on the street team is awesome. There is no.
Did you notice where they all came from?
Where?
They all were interns.
Oh yeah, on your show. I heard
our show.
Yeah,
Skaz as well.
yeah. I heard they wanted to call the outturns. They wanted to start a podcast. And instead of interns, they were outturns. Outturns. I think it was Katie, Joe, and Chris. You had 3.
Chris
you guys
DeSisto?
have 3 interns. Yeah.
Yep.
And they want.
He's from Rhode Island.
Yeah, I think they're starting. He's a great guy. Chris is an unreal guy.
Big wrestling fan. Did you know that there's wrestling tonight, and I've been invited?
And why aren't you going? I know you have a show to do, but I mean.
So you think could I do the show there?
Yeah, I think you could do a live show there.
Be a good street team event.
Yeah,
that'd be a hell of a street
I'd probably
team
be
event.
there giving away T-shirts.
Wait, so what was the story though? You said I asked you if you had a story on the street team. Is there any nothing? No.
No, I got one, but it's one time we had an event.
Skaz was on the street team.
Yeah,
too, right?
Skaz was.
And
Yeah.
do you know where I met Skaz?
I'm trying to follow in Skaz's footsteps.
Do you know where I met Skaz for the
At
first
a Hooters.
time?
I'm listening to the first.
What do you think
line
of
the
Hooters wings, by the way? Do you prefer? Okay,
Worse
do you
than
prefer?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Do you work? No. See, here's what I'm trying to tell you. Have you ever had their naked wings?
No.
So you get the breaded that they give everybody.
Yeah.
No. Get the naked hot wings.
Yeah.
With curly fries.
Okay. That does sound pretty
I'm
good.
more of a steak fry guy.
Yeah.
But for some reason at Hooters, naked wings, it's just non-breaded.
Wait, so Skaz, you had an event at Hooters?
Yes, I was working a street team event at Hooters in Dedham. I was just doing my job, hanging out there at a Sports Hub table, wearing my Sports Hub shirt, and group of guys having their fantasy football end of the year party there. And guys come over to the table, like, "Oh, you know Joe Murray?" I was like, "Yeah, I know who he is. Never met him before." Like, he's coming here. He's on his way. This is our end of the football. Basically, their toilet bowl party, I think, is what it was.
Yeah, we have an end of the year party where we present the toilet bowl winner.
And sure enough, Joe came in, introduced himself. We got to meet a couple of his buddies. We were having a good time, and yeah, it was the first time I ever met Joe Murray. I was on the clock, he was off the clock, but we were both at Hooters. Just a couple guys at Hooters.
We haven't had an event like that.
Do you know that people think that
Joe's bummed they haven't been to Hooters yet.
That's what I was going to get.
People, I know,
Yeah.
because they'll feed you.
Yeah.
But people think that I met Skaz at a Hooters, felt bad for him, and got him a job.
Yeah, Skaz told me that.
You've heard this before?
Yeah, I have heard that.
People think that,
I was flipping fries.
Yeah.
Not that there's
And I
anything
was
wrong
like-
with that,
I
but
was
I
like,
was
hey,
actually working at the Sports Hub
Yeah.
at the time.
He was working at the sport, and then he became an associate producer, and now he's his own producer.
Overnights, Joe. Overnights.
But you got to start somewhere.
Maybe they were good curly fries.
They were damn good curly fries. Who's got the best fries out of all the fast food restaurants?
Is it a cop out to say Five Guys because they're technically,
No.
not. I think Five Guys, Cajun fries specifically.
The reason why I like Five Guys is because they fill that damn bag.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can actually split a large fry.
yeah. I want it. Yeah, yeah.
And the bag fries are the best. If I go to, McDonald's, I'm not splitting fries with anyone. But
Yeah.
Five Guys, you
If
can split
I'm at
fries.
McDonald's, it's my own fry.
Yeah.
I don't care for Burger King fries, but they have incredible breakfast hash browns. And
Interesting. I've never had that.
Oh, yes. And have you ever had their French toast sticks?
No.
Oh, this is...
This is just 24 straight minutes of Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly being like, did we just become best friends? That's all this segment is.
So have you had Burger King?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
What's your, okay, my Burger King move is a rodeo cheeseburger.
Is that with the barbecue?
It's just
Yeah.
barbecue and onion rings and cheese
That does sound
on
pretty good.
on a bun. Nothing else. Because I don't do lettuce and all that stuff.
What do you get as the side? Just the fries?
I like to get the 4-piece chicken tender with dipping sauces of barbecue and sweet and sour.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? The chicken tender is just like $1, right? For the 4-piece?
Yes. Yeah, $1.49 for a 4-piece. So you can also get 2. And then every once in a while, they'll have 2 cookies for $1. Right now, McDonald's has 1 apple pie for $1.
That's Burger. Have you ever get the ices from Burger King? Like the
is
Fanta
that like
ices,
is that like a slushie you get at the movie theater?
Yeah, it tastes exactly like the one you get at the movie theater, Burger King.
I don't drink a lot of stuff with sugar anymore, but that sounds enticing.
It is very good. Absolutely. I get it every single time I go. Burger, fries, slushie.
Have you ever heard of the McMurray?
No, but I'd be interested to hear.
All right, we're up against it a little bit, but let me. There's a song for it.
Should I just play it right now, Joe, going into break?
Real quick. I worked at a McDonald's. I experimented a lot. I feel like I spearheaded a few things that are on the menu these days. Let me just tell you that I created my own sandwich called the McMurray. Do you know the Big Mac has like a bottom roll, middle roll, and then a top roll?
Yeah.
So what you do is you take a quarter, you get rid of the roll. Your bottom piece is a crispy chicken, like a chicken sandwich.
That's the bun.
Bottom bun.
Okay.
Then you get a quarter pounder beef. Okay. Then that little Big Mac middle bun with another double quarter pounder beef patty with barbecue sauce, cheese, chicken patty.
Wow. So there's no bun on that.
The only bun is the Big Mac bun that separates the 2 double quarter meats with cheese on the middle of that too.
That's crazy.
So Joe,
but I would try it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So Joe, your name Ariello?
Ariano.
Ask me that later.
Yeah. All right.
Joe Ariano, aka Street Team Joe. STJ. Thank you for joining us on Musings tonight.
Thank you for
I don't
having
know.
me.
Actually, real quick, do we have any birthdays, guys? I don't care if we do, but if we don't, I don't care. How about K Sanat?
Oh, that his meal at McDonald's? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it's his birthday today.
Oh, okay.
He does a meal.
Yeah. I thought that's where you were going with that. You came up with the Kai Cenat before he did.
Nope. I came out with it before he did. I did. I was 17 years old. I'm 42 now. That was before him.
So you have done the chicken Big Mac before he did.
The McMurray burger.
Yeah, okay.
Brody Lee, happy birthday to him.
JB Smoove.
All right, well, let's hear the McMurray song. Joe, thank you very much. Street Team Joe, everybody, making his Joe Show appearance. Maybe we could do more of this another day.
Anytime.
I definitely is 29 minutes of back and forth food talk, which I did not expect tonight.
Food and Celtics. I could talk.
Oh yeah, you're
24/7.
a green teamer. Well,
yeah.
Okay, next time you come on, I want you to come up with a green teamer sandwich.
Oh, I'm on it.
Okay, cool. All right, McMurray in the break here. I one time had 2 chicken patties and put a beef patty in between it and just ate it like that.
Did you make this in your home?
No. I one time worked at a McDonald's. Chicken sandwiches, and I put a quarter-pound beef in the middle of it. I called it the McMurray burger. We can make it a song if you want.
Make me your McMurray and make me one right now. Use 2 chicken patties and a quarter-pound of cow. I don't need no pickles, tomatoes, or lettuce. Don't forget the bacon and barbecue sauce. Yeah. Make a McMurray. Serve it with the side of angioplasty.
You gotta try.
Joe, look at me. It's unnecessary.
It's not.
It is completely, especially if you're having a milkshake with M&Ms on the side.
Yes.
You don't need the chocolate sauce on your French fries.
I think it's spectacular.
I don't want you to do it anymore. The hell's the matter?
I mean, I'm a fat guy. I've tried a lot of things, man.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Krista checking in from the South Shore. I'm a bone-in wing girly. We exist. We matter. So, Joe, there's a woman out there on the South Shore that exists and matters, and will go bone in with her hands. So you have one. You have one there. A couple others checking in here on Twitter. I am very baked, and this has me quite hungry. No good. From Kevin. Jeff checking in. Love this Just to Joe show. J to J for life. Kendra checking in. STJ. Street Team Joe. He was so silly. So there you go. Street Team Joe. Was that your first time on the air?
He said he got on as an intern, but that was his first real appearance.
Oh, I'm actually curious what they asked.
I know, can we find that audio, I wonder? Probably have to scrub 50% of it, but yeah.
I know, huh?
Oh, it was a roast, apparently. He roasted the show.
You roasted the show?
Oh, man. Maybe we'll have to do some...
Was I with them, or was I not with them? Did you ever meet me before, Joe?
Oh, it was Hardy, Fred, and Wallach, he says that day. Foreshadowing.
Huh. That happened.
And Joe, you just mentioned Kendra Middleton. Shout out Kendra Middleton getting some serious publicity tonight.
Wrestling is in Boston tonight. Everyone's there but me, even Kendra.
You're not going, Joe?
It's over. It is over. You know what? I didn't even put it on the television. But I was curious if we would see Jay Stu. So I have not really been on Twitter all night because...
But one Triple H, Joe.
Yes, to pay off the story, Triple H used a video of people doing WWE entrances, and one Kendra Middleton was one of the people who did an entrance. I mean, she's on Playboy. She's on WWE.
What was Kendra's entrance song? That's what I want to know.
Ooh. I have to. I'm actually, what do you think it would be before I listen to it? Let me see here. Hang on. That's loud.
Joe, going to his phone for audio.
John Cena.
Oh, John Cena. Local guy.
Yes, West Newbury, Massachusetts. I bet you've never been there.
Can't say I have.
No. There's a really good barbecue joint out there, though. It's called the Rusty Can. You ever heard of that, Joe?
I have heard of that.
It's great. It's one of my favorite barbecue joints in the area. So, I like a good troll job. I think we've been trolling all night long, and what the hell, why not, right? But guys remember Doug Gottlieb?
Unfortunately, yes.
When we were with the old station, we used to have the CBS Sports Minute, which imagine 98.5, the Sports Pub, running those now. We did headlines and CBS Sports Minutes. And somehow still became number one. I don't know if that's talked about. But the CBS Sports Minutes were like, this is Doug Gottlieb. Why does LeBron James need to chase down layups just to look good? It's not going to win him anything. I'm Doug Gottlieb. Like, he sucked. Let's face it. And listen, I wasn't great at by the way, state Catholic Suburban League champions class of 2000. So I shouldn't sell myself short, but I didn't play at the level of one Doug Gottlieb. How about that? But Doug Gottlieb is now coaching in the Horizon League. I believe he's at Green Bay, right? Is that where he is?
Yes, unfortunately for them, he is their head coach.
So Green Bay, Wisconsin has a 2-10 record in the Horizon League. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is number 1, by the way. Youngstown State, Northern Kentucky, Oakland, Wright State, just to name a couple others in that Horizon League. And I told you years ago, I bet Murray State that was the Missouri Conference, whatever. But Doug Gottlieb tweeted out earlier, and I want to get the look at this one, but I believe Schefter tweeted something out about Sacramento State's in discussions to hire former Pro Bowl quarterback Michael Vick. And then Gottlieb goes, geez, Shefty, edit what agents tell you, 0% chance Sac State has $50 million in NIL. And then this from Adam Schefter in a response. Oh, geez, Doug. A 7-game losing streak in last place in the Horizon League? Less time on social media, more time in the gym.
If you're getting dunked on by the vertically challenged Adam Schefter, that's when you know things aren't going great.
I grew up playing Mortal Kombat.
A fatality, Joe.
And we would go finish him.
Thinking of a Grand Theft Auto Wasted, maybe. But yes, just for context, Doug Gottlieb, head coach at Green Bay. They are 2-10 this year, as you mentioned. Last year, Joe, do you know what their record was? They were 18-14.
Oh.
Not bad. So
Doug Gottlieb.
Tweeting away, hosting his radio show. I don't know.
Do you think that was the only job Doug Gottlieb could get?
I would hope that's the only. I would hope no other team was stupid enough to offer him a head coaching job.
What kind of offense do you think he runs?
I don't know.
The wing team,
a bad one. I'm sure his team might lead the conference in steals if I know anything about Doug Gottlieb.
Guys, if you tried harder, you'd score more.
Doug Gottlieb, big fan of stealing, Joe. I don't know if you're aware of that, but yes, got in a little bit of trouble for that back in the day. Oh. He likes credit cards, that aren't his.
Oh, we all.
I'm just saying.
Oh well, I mean, now it would be back then it was probably fraud too, right?
I believe it was. Those good old Notre Dame boys, causing trouble.
It's always the Catholic school boys. Us jerks. It's always us. Always, always. That's a body bag comment, though. That's a body bag comment. And I'm Doug Gottlieb, and that's the CBS Sports Minute. Or does that sound like Dale? Who did that sound like? I'm Doug Gottlieb.
It's like Woody Woodpecker.
All right. Well, we're going to break here. We're going to tell you we have a special show on Wednesday night.
Well, a lot of people contributing to as well.
We'll share more with you coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hi, it's Amanda Meads with Rapid Flow Sewer and Drain Cleaning, wishing you and your families a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
South Shore Bank wishes all of their clients a happy holiday season. Sharing your success and growing your business is what Above and Beyond Banking is all about. Visit SouthShoreBank.com. Member FDIC, member DIF, equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Ryan with 128, and with the first 20-degree morning of the season, our phones are flooded with heating systems that aren't working and customers concerned about their heat and their hot water. We get it. There's never a good time to be without heat and hot water, and it's certainly not something that you plan for. Luckily for us, we do. Every day here at 128, we plan to be able to handle that same-day emergency with a focus on getting you heat and hot water back up and running as soon as possible. Avoid waiting for a callback. Just call 128. Visit us online at call128.com.
This December, get in the game and score a surprise that could make this season even brighter at findmassmoney.gov. You may be able to find that little extra holiday magic. Here in Massachusetts, 1 in 10 people have unclaimed property from things like uncashed paychecks, refunds from overpaid bills, or forgotten savings accounts. Findmassmoney.gov is free and easy to use, and it only takes 30 seconds to search your name. It's a win for your wallet, so visit findmassmoney.gov today and see if you're ready to score some extra holiday cheer. That's findmassmoney.gov.
They say the average American spends nearly 300 hours a year behind the wheel. So you might as well make it 300 hours well spent. The Bronco family is the series of SUVs that sets the bar on adventure. And with available GOAT modes, there's no limit for the journey you can take. Take advantage of a great lease offer today and see what it's like to drive a vehicle that's ready for the ride. Only from your New England Ford dealers.
Hey, it's Maz. Here's my hot take. I am convinced this is the winter we get pummeled, unlike years past. So do what I did. Be prepared with an Aaron's snow thrower. They're the king of snow for a reason. Aaron's has been building extremely reliable products for over 90 years, and I trust Aaron's to throw snow better and farther than any snow throwers out there. Aaron's has a lineup of machines to fit every need, so throw back what old man winter dishes out with Aaron's, the king of snow. Visit your local independent Aaron's dealer today.
Imagine this. It's 10 o'clock and time to go to bed. Scary, right? It might be, especially if you fear the chance of an accidental leakage and skin irritation. Well, if that's the case, you need to try Tena Sensitive Care Overnight Pads. Its skin comfort formula acts as a barrier to help protect your skin and provides triple protection against leaks, odor, and wetness, helping you feel secure throughout the night. With Tena Overnight Pads, your nights will be smoother and your days brighter. Try them now and have a smooth night.
Norwegian Cruise Line invites you to experience more in the Caribbean, Alaska, Europe, and beyond. For a limited time, get 50% off.
Thursday, but Wednesday night we will have a Merry Murray Christmas Scaz. So that's I'm trying to mix in Scaz with Murray. I don't know how to do that, but so on Wednesday night it will be a Merry Murray and a Scazzy. Lots of holiday cheer, music, wishes, hot takes for 2025. We will have special cameos throughout the show from other people of 98.5 The Sports Hub and potentially Beasley Media. Hopefully we can get everybody in on that. So if you want to get into the spirit and you want to wear your ugly sweater or your Christmas beer goggles or have your eggnog at night, you should join us on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. It will be 4 hours of Murray Skasness. It should be fun. We're already preparing. Did anyone else think to do this, by the way? Or was everybody like, yeah, dude, I'm out on Friday. See ya. I will be, I'll be Felgering, mazzing it up. I don't know if who's there or what, or which guy is not there. But yes, Wednesday night, everybody join us. It will be fun. Feel free to call in. Maybe you have Merry Christmas greetings or grievances. Maybe you want to tell me what you're going to eat. What do you think Street Team Joe's going to eat on Christmas? Wings? Does he eat the turkey leg? I'd be interested. So come hang out with us on Wednesday night. And we had I think we had like a record-breaking, at least close to a record-breaking YouTube viewers tonight. So I appreciate everybody watching us on YouTube and chatting in. It's been a fun night tonight. And my big take tonight was maybe that look in Jonathan Kraft's eyes. Maybe that's the guy who can talk to the old man about not keeping Mayo.
You sure about that?
I'm trying. Crap all over it if you want. It's my take, and damn it, I'm going with it. All right, thank you to everybody in our YouTube chat tonight, everybody who called in. Street Team Joe, thank you, sir.